You're listening to a production of SportsLink Digital Radio.
Welcome live to Shebeck Stadium, where we are getting set for a mid-afternoon showdown between the Southern Indiana Screaming Eagles and the Ball State Cardinals. I'm Brayden, Carroll, Roen, Elbert alongside. It's a windy day here in Muncie, Indiana, 15 miles per hour southeast. We might see some rain within the next hour, which could bring some difficulty to the players out there, but either way, this should be a fun little showdown out of conference play. Both of these teams have fared pretty well individually in their conference play thus far, and now they're meeting up for the fifth time all time.
Yes, even in the short history of this matchup, there have been plenty of great moments. The Cardinals winning all of those matchups, but don't forget 2023 in their first ever matchup, Cardinal legend C.J. Horn walking it off in the 11th inning in that first ever matchup. So a ton of history there.
A ton of history, but it's really fair to the Ball State Cardinals in the 4 games that these two teams have played. A 41-16 run difference in favor of the Cards in those 4 games. They played each other every year since 2023, meeting up for the first time here in 2025. Screaming Eagles, they're 10-13 right now, off to a solid start in the Ohio Valley at 3rd in the conference standings, 2-1 in play thus far, coming off of some wins against Western Illinois. They were 2-1 in the series last weekend. They have some confidence coming into this. They feel like they can knock off the Cardinals this time around.
Yeah, coming off of a great conference series over the weekend, they build that confidence. Even in a game without Cannon Coakley, one of their top guys, a guy who will not be in the lineup today, maybe getting a rest day. We don't know what's going on there. But what we're seeing is this USI team, they have the depth and they have what it takes, especially in a midweek matchup like this where for both teams, it's going to be more of a bullpen day. We kind of expected that going in because that's usually what you get at a midweek matchup. But this is the day, if any day, where the Screaming Eagles can catch the Cardinals on the wrong side of the bed.
And they're going to be relying heavily on Cole Kitchens, who's leading the lineup in batting average, on base percentage, home runs, and RBIs this season. How important is it going to be for USI to get him going? He's 3rd in the lineup right now. He has to be, in my opinion, the batter to stand out.
Well, Cole Kitchens, he's batting .449 on the season. However, in the last 10 games, batting .523, a 12-game hitting streak for Cole Kitchens. It'll be very important. And for a guy like on the mound for the Cardinals today, Will Jacobson, to start off this bullpen game, it's going to be very tough. I wonder how Kitchens is going to respond to his slider. I love the slider of Will Jacobson, one of the nastiest pitches in the entire Cardinal bullpen. I wonder how Kitchens will be able to get a hold of that. But at the same time, if Kitchens is able to have his best stuff, if he's able to get going, it's kind of contagious for the rest of the Eagles lineup.
And you look at their starting pitcher today in Jake Porter, just a junior on this squad from Iowa. He's had himself a solid start to his season, 2-1 as a starter, but that ERA just jumps out at you, 8.6. He struggled a bit down the stretch of his starts, but they're going to need him to step up early here. You said it's going to be a bullpen type of game. Well, we might see him for 3 or 4 innings, depending on how well his performance goes.
Yeah, you would expect 3 or 4 innings. I think that's the hope on the Screaming Eagles end. But in his last appearance, he pitched 2 innings, only giving up 2 hits, no earned runs to his name, and 4 strikeouts. Jake Porter looking to build off of that last really good outing and continue the momentum, especially for USI coming out of that weekend series. If they can come into Muncie, Indiana, a place where they've never won before, if they can come into here, pick up a midweek win, they will be rolling heading into OVC play.
Very young program, their 3rd year of Division I play. They're looking for something here against the Ball State Cardinals. And you look at BSU so far, 1st in the MAC standings, 5-1, but they're coming off of a tough series against Xavier last weekend. Swept in 3. They're looking to rebound after that.
Yeah, and that was going to be tough anyway. That's a tough environment on the road out in Cincinnati. Xavier, they're a Big East team. You know that they are going to always be a tough competitor. And plus the Cardinals in Game 1, they did give them a run for their money. The one thing I will say that impressed me was the overall performance from Clay Jacobs throughout that entire weekend series. He had 2 home runs throughout that 3 games. He'll be batting 8th today, playing right field. That's what I love about this Cardinals team. 1 through 9, you're going to get a lot of depth and a lot of great hitting overall, and there's no easy out 1 through 9 for Ball State, especially today in the lineup.
This is a squad that's hit 34 home runs this season, and you look at the lineup today. I mean, Blake Beavis steps up. He really stands out with 6 home runs this season, batting .267, and then Garrett Arnold batting .415 this year. This is a tough lineup for the Screaming Eagles, and if they want their first win of this all-time series, they're going to have to go through a gauntlet.
Yeah, they sure will, but it comes down to if they can take advantage of the Cardinals on a day where the starting pitching for the Cardinals has been their strong point. You're talking Jacob Hartlub, Keegan Johnson, Connor Hutchinson. Those 3 guys, that's a 3-headed monster right there. The bullpen, it's been up and down. It really depends on the day, and it depends on what Ball State bullpen we are going to see today. Will it be the one we saw against Butler last week, where Will Jacobson went 3 in the 3rd inning, giving up no earned runs to one of the best lineups in the entire Big East? Or are we going to see something more like a couple weeks back against Purdue-Fort Wayne, giving up 10 runs? Still getting the win, though, because the Cardinals' run support is just that good. It'll really depend.
And you look at Will Jacobson, who's going to get the start at the mound today for the Cardinals. He's only pitched in 3 innings so far, tough ERA, but he's won his one start of the season, and he's looking here to get another win.
Yeah, and Jacobson, 7 feet tall. You can't teach that. 7 feet tall. He has the physical tools, all of the physical tools to be great. And going into that last outing against Butler, his ERA was infinite, had not gotten a single out all year. And it made you wonder, I wonder what's going to happen in this situation where they go to him against a very tough Butler lineup. But then he comes out, goes 3 in the 3rd inning, like you mentioned, and was stellar. Had some of his best stuff all year. You couldn't help but be happy for the guy after not recording a single out, getting a bunch of huge outs, and helping the Cardinals get a run rule victory over the Bulldogs. Now you come into another tough lineup against the Screaming Eagles, especially with Cole Kitchens in that 3 spot. But let's not forget guys like the leadoff hitter Patrick McClellan, who has also been red hot so far this season. He's on a 12-game hitting streak of his own. You got Kai Holiday in that 2 spot. So many great hitters in that USI lineup today. It's not going to be easy.
And you look at Ball State, 16-9, 8-2 at home. Southern Indiana 6-10 on the road this season. What's going to be the keys for Ball State to get a win here?
Really, it comes down to eating up innings. Will Jacobson, if you can give 3 or 4 innings, if he can get 3 or 4 innings for you, that is going to be key, because you can't go to a bullpen game where it's like 1 inning here, 1 inning there, 1 inning. You just can't have that. That's the biggest thing for Ball State. I would also say timely hitting, and that has been really the key reason to why the Cardinals are currently first in the MAC right now with a 5-1 MAC record, is because of timely hitting at the perfect time. They always come alive with these big innings. I like to call them the cardiac Cardinals at certain points, because they always come up clutch in the perfect moments, especially in these midweek matchups. We saw it against Purdue-Fort Wayne a couple weeks ago. We saw it against Butler last week. So many a myriad of clutch moments. I think that's the main thing, timely hitting and overall just good pitching from Jacobson that can eat up innings.
Cardiac Cardinals. I think Kemba Walker would like to have a word with you over that.
Yeah, maybe a copyright infringement. That's my bad.
Somebody hasn't taken media law yet. Chris Ramirez, the head coach for the Screaming Eagles, meeting at home plate with Rich Maloney, his 1,004 win mark, the highest in Ball State history, going for his 1,005th in this one. The umpires today at third base going to be Ethan Watkins, first base Nathaniel Haveman, and at home plate will be Jason Dreyer. We're going to take a quick break here for the national anthem. On the other side, we'll bring you the starting 9 for both squads as we get ready for first pitch. Ball State, Southern Indiana will return after this. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, Ball State Baseball, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Ranked number 2 in the nation for sports media by the Broadcast Education Association.
This is Ball State SportsLink. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive Car Doc maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paintwork on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
The best stories in Ball State sports, plus live broadcasts right in your timeline.
Follow us at BSU SportsLink.
The Hampton Inn of Muncie is the official partner of Ball State Athletics. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. The Hampton Inn is one of Muncie's finest hotels. Come enjoy our free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and fresh Hampton beds waiting for you. Less than a mile away from Ball State campus. Don't forget to ask about our Ball State special. Search Hampton Inn of Muncie online at munciesuites.hamptoninn.com. At munciesuites.hamptoninn.com.
From the bell tower to your smartphone, anywhere in the world.
Never miss Ball State sports with SportsLink Digital.
Welcome back to Shebeck Stadium, where we are getting set for Southern Indiana versus the Ball State Cardinals here in Muncie, Indiana. Not a beautiful day, a cold, chilly 48, feels like 34 with the wind chill coming in at 15 miles per hour. Heading southeast for this, might see a lot of balls head to the right field today. Looking at the starting lineups for both of these squads, for Southern Indiana, leading off will be number 4, Patrick McClellan, then Key Holiday, number 1, number 12, Cole Kitchens, number 9, Cameron Boyd, number 5, Clayton Slack, number 17, Anthony Umbach, number 36, Jacob Winsenred, number 28, Parker Martin, and number 30, Micaiah Wall. We talked about Southern Indiana a little bit. It's mainly going to come up to Cole Kitchens here, who leads the team in home runs. He has been the leading bat in this one, batting third today. If he can't get going, it's going to be tough gets for Southern Indiana all day.
Yes, even though they do have the depth to get it done without Kitchens, they're going without Cannon Coakley, too. Coakley was their other 400-plus hitter. Be without him, and then if Kitchens, if he's not giving you his best stuff, then it's going to be an uphill battle, especially against a red-hot Cardinals team. Despite coming off a 3-game sweep, Ball State knows their place, and they know what they can do to win this Mid-American Conference.
And then you look at the Cardinals lineup today. It will be Alex Richter at third base, number 3, the senior on this squad. Then number 34, Garrett Arnold, who will be the catcher today, number 34. Number 5, Dylan Grego, an infielder. He'll be at shortstop today. Number 13, Nick Hasovsky, the senior on this squad. A utility, he will be in at second base for this one. Number 19, Corbin Griffin, who will be rounding out left field. And then we will have number 28, Ben Giovanetti. Number 9, Blake Beavis. Number 16, Clay Jacobs. And number 4, Gavin Bayless. We're going to take a break here for the national anthem. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio.
Ranked number 2 in the nation for sports media by the Broadcast Education Association.
This is Ball State SportsLink.
Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive car dock maintenance and Niveyard body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paintwork on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
The best stories in Ball State sports, plus live broadcasts right in your timeline.
Follow us at BSU SportsLink.
Welcome back to Shebeck Stadium. The national anthem wrapping up as we are just moments away from the start of this afternoon game between the Ball State Cardinals and the visiting Southern Indiana Screaming Eagles. I'm Brayden Carroll, Roen Elbert alongside. I'll take you through innings 1 and 3. Roen will take over at 4-7, and I'll round it up at 8-9 if we reach it. This should be a fun one, Roen. Ball State warming up here as USI will be the first team to hit.
And what we're going to see from USI to begin with, you got Patrick McClellan on a 12-game hitting streak, batting above 300. Then you got Kai Holiday out in center field. He has been pretty solid with the glove. We just really haven't seen it with the bat. He's currently batting .227. And how could I forget in the 3 spot, playing the DH role today, Cole Kitchens batting a whopping .449, batting .523 in his last 10 games. The one thing that all 3 of these guys have in common is that they have all come to the Screaming Eagles via the transfer portal. And for USI, currently on their roster, 30 players have arrived via transfer. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, that's something that I noticed really about this Southern Indiana team is they just don't have many veterans who have stuck around for this program. And part of that is just due to all of the changes that have come to the university, moving to Division I, to the Ohio Valley Conference. A lot of players they just didn't have hang around from that Division I transition.
Yeah, and that is tough, especially with a first-year head coach in Chris Ramirez. It's gonna be tough, especially losing a lot of guys last year to recruit players, but they've had to kind of gel on the fly, most of these guys, and they've done a great job at it so far. A 10-13 record with 30 new guys on your roster. That's not too bad.
They've certainly had a strong start to the season, 2-1 in the Ohio Valley. Sitting at third right now, although there haven't been many games played so far in conference as they were 2-1. Leading off is Patrick McClellan, a junior on this squad, 2-time transfer from small schools Grossmont College and Palomar College. As he will start us off here at Shebeck Stadium. Will Jacobson, number 18, the 7-footer at the mound. The pitch inside for a ball.
Again, Jacobson going to the slider early. You have to love it, and you have to respect it, even as a right-handed batter.
1-0 count. Here's the pitch swung on and sent foul to the right side. 1-1 will be the count.
That was weird right there. McClellan looked like he kind of wanted to keep it in check, but off the barrel of the bat, a little bit of a weird swing there.
He definitely wanted to check, but last minute decided it was in his range. Another pitch down the middle, but low for ball 2. Jacob sending that pitch out and in. See what he does here. Switching it up a couple times on McClellan. 2-1 count. That pitch is swung on and destroyed foul to the left side. That is over the bullpen. Hitting opposite to the wind. It's 15 miles per hour southeast. He hits that one southwest, or northwest, I should say.
Completely belted that. If it weren't for going opposite wind, that could have made it out.
A 2-2 count. Jacobson deals. That one is sent straight down the middle to the outfield, and it'll be Balvis there to handle that one smoothly.
Yeah, just a routine fly ball out in the right center field. Gavin Bayless, who looked pretty solid overall in the weekend series against Xavier, getting a couple of base hits, overall, with the glove, he's been a mainstay. We haven't really seen him in these midweek matchups, but that's kind of changing.
Bayless, my handwriting is terrible, Roen.
Yeah,
that
you're
was
good.
purely on my handwriting. Going for bunt is Key Holiday, and he gets hit in the process.
And that is how you do not want to start an outing if you're Will Jacobson. Hitting a batter, nothing is going to get your nerves going more than that. Now you get into a situation where you have to go up against Cole Kitchens, a guy who's on a 12-game hitting streak, batting above 400, and you have a speedy base runner like Kai Holiday out there who has 12 stolen bags. It's going to be pretty tough.
So Cole Kitchens up to the bat now. Centerton, Arkansas, his home. A junior on the squad, his first season at Southern Indiana, sends the first pitch dribbling wide left. So an 0-1 start to the count. Jacobson feeling the slight pressure here after that hit by pitch walk, sending Holiday to first. Holiday a slight lead. And Jacobson will throw routinely over to Beavis. Holiday, no issue getting back to first.
I don't think that was a competitive pickoff move. It was mainly a thing to let him know, hey, you're on my mind.
But Holiday unfazed as he takes another lead. That pitch is swung on and sent back to the backstop, and that will be a foul ball for the 2-1 count.
Even though you're getting contact here, still, you're down 0-2. Jacobson, he has the right-handed batter in Kitchens right where he wants him.
So an 0-2 count. Correction, another throw as Holiday will head to second. The pickoff is on time. He is out there. I don't believe he touched second base as he came out of the slide and kept moving, trying to inch over to third, but he had basically no chance with Osofsky right there.
Yeah, that's tough. You get caught in a pickle between first and second, especially against a very experienced Cardinal infield. You really have no chance.
So an 0-2 count here. That pitch is sent to the dirt as we go to 1-2.
Again, he's going with the breaking stuff like he has all day. We haven't really seen much of the velo from Jacobson yet. It's really been slider, slider, slider. But to be fair, that's what got him through the 3 innings against Butler, where he was able to get guys like Jack Maroknik out who are batting close to 500.
1-2 count with 2 outs, and that pitch is another ball. We'll head to 2-2. Jacobson trying to get the third out with clean bases. Kitchens watches that one go just wide for another ball, and we're at full count.
And there you go. That's what I wanted to see. The fastball from Jacobson right on the outside corner. Tried to get a chase there. Unfortunately for Jacobson, however, Kitchens battling back to a full count.
Kitchens batting .449 on the season. Watching the full count, swings on it, and that's a base hit. Gets right by the second baseman, Osofsky. He'll head to first, and that's where he'll stay. So the first hit of the game for the Screaming Eagles as they have a man aboard.
That's tough for Nick Osofsky and the Cardinals. On all fours, diving for that. Again, too much speed right off the bat from Cole Kitchens. The exit velo is a big reason to why he is so impactful for the Screaming Eagles. Now you move into a spot where you have Cameron Boyd batting cleanup, and he's cleanup for a reason. 13 RBIs, batting .313. What a season he's had out in right field for the Screaming Eagles.
He is one of the few guys who's stuck on this squad for more than a season in his second year as a Screaming Eagle. 23 hits and 14 runs last season, 15 RBIs. He has 13 RBIs in the early goings of this campaign. As we have the umpires retrieving the bat of Cole Kitchens. And it looks like they're measuring.
This is interesting. I really have never seen anything like this in a game. I wonder, is this an issue with the bat itself?
Could be. They might be looking at the tape on the bat.
I think because now they're taking it back over to the review station. He's handing it off to somebody. Is there maybe an issue with that bat not being regulation? And now I'm looking over here towards the van. They are taking that bat away into a van. This is interesting.
Looking at the tape, looking at the tar, something up with that bat that the officials didn't like. They measured it across home plate, and apparently they've deemed it worth review.
And now they're talking to the manager of the Screaming Eagles and Chris Ramirez, and now Rich Maloney for the Cardinals joining the conversation. I'm just as confused as you are. I think it has something to do with the fact that bat might not be regulation. I've never seen an illegal bat. Is that the issue here?
It's something. Something wasn't liked about that. I don't know if it's the tape, the tar, maybe the barrel size. But an interesting situation. That's the bat of Cole Kitchens, the star hitter on the Screaming Eagles squad. You hope that nothing happens just for the sake of USI, considering he's their best hitter.
It makes you wonder, though, are the umpires going to take that bat with them? Are they going to check maybe it's a cork bat? Is that the issue? I wonder. Which that would be pretty illegal.
For now, number 9 Cameron Boyd is at home plate to swing here on Will Jacobson. The first pitch is a beauty, sent out and in for strike 1.
Slider right down Broadway from Will Jacobson. He struggled throwing it against righties, but that time around, right down the gut. Beautiful pitch.
Cole Kitchens taking a small lead off of first base, and that pitch almost hit Cameron Boyd as he had to get out of the way, well inside. As the count is 1-1, Jacobson feeling the early pressure of this first inning.
He certainly is, but knowing you have 2 outs has to be a little bit comforting.
The pitch, that one's batted on, a slow dribbler. And they're going to call that one a foul ball, as it must have crossed the line on the process.
Yeah, he fouled it straight down and then on a bouncer to Jacobson. That is a tough call for the home plate umpire to make, but I guess it just barely crossed over the home plate line.
Regardless, it's a 1-2 count in favor of Jacobson, trying to get out of the first inning with a man aboard at first in Cole Kitchens. The swing, and that one's fouled deep over the right field wall. Hopefully that didn't hit somebody's windshield. I believe they have the area that ball landed on blocked off.
I mean, hey, I parked my car fairly close like I usually do, and I'm just waiting for the day I get a souvenir, a.k.a. a broken windshield.
I don't have that kind of money. Boyd watches that pitch go up for another ball. 2-2, the second time Jacobson has faced this count.
I mean, you're talking to the guy who drives a 2012 Toyota RAV4.
I drive a 2015 Chevy Equinox.
There you go. Okay, we're even.
The engine light's been on for like 2 months at this point. And Jacobson sends it to full count again. Cameron Boyd, a .397 on base percentage, looking to increase that, maybe cross the 400 mark. If he can get something on this pitch or watch it go ball. Jacobson looking to get out of the top of this frame as he calls for time with Cole Kitchens putting a bit of pressure on him, taking a couple strolls over. Rich Maloney will have a discussion with the home plate umpire, Jason Dreyer.
It's interesting. Watch for Garrett Arnold, the catcher for the Cardinals. Watch for his location. We've seen it every time they want to get a chase off to the outside. He will slide over to the outside. Before that pitch was even ready to be fired, Garrett Arnold stayed dead center, middle of the plate, maybe looking to get a chase more inside on Boyd.
No all here in the top of the first. Full count, 2 outs, 1 on first. Cameron Boyd, here's the pitch, and that one's over his elbow line. That will send him aboard to first. Cole Kitchens to second. That's another walk for Will Jacobson. He's seen a hit by pitch, and now a true walk. Given to Cameron Boyd. Clayton Slack up into the box for the Screaming Eagles. 310 hitter, 381 on base percentage. Hasn't seen a home run yet, but he has 15 RBIs, one of the leading producers on this squad. The pitch, he swings on it, and it's sent back to the Ball State dugout, caught successfully by somebody, barehanded.
Wow, that is an impressive catch to make. I've tried to make that catch at ballparks, AAA ballparks, and never ends well for me.
And it's cold out here. That had to hurt his palm a bit. Here's the pitch, and that one is sent way outside for the 1-1 count. Screaming Eagles have a couple players aboard with their leading hitter, Cole Kitchens, at second, Cameron Boyd at first off of a walk. That pitch, he swings on it and let everything into it. Caught nothing with a 1-2 count now and a chance for Jacobson to get out of a jam.
Back to the inside slider on Slack. Beautiful pitch.
The windup, the pitch, sent in and got him swinging. Will Jacobson with runners on second and first gets out of the top of the first, and it remains 0-0 here heading into the bottom of the first with Ball State ready to bat. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. This is Ball State Baseball. Don't go anywhere.
American Pest Pros is the official pest control partner of Ball State Athletics. We protect your home or business and guarantee year-round protection from insects and pests. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. Our pest control program is the safest and most effective in the industry. Even if you tried a different service and it didn't work, we'll fix your problem, guaranteed, or your money back. Visit AmericanPestPros.com. That's AmericanPestPros.com. And don't forget to ask about our Ball State special.
Ball State fans, who needs batteries? Your locally owned Battery Masters have batteries for cars, boats, golf carts, cell phones, watches, key fobs, Pay-Per-Go toys for kids, and more. Bring your rechargeable batteries back to life for drills, shavers, dustbusters, and more. All Ball State fans receive a free battery checkup. Just mention Charlie Cardinal. Battery Masters is conveniently located on the corner of Walnut and Centennial, next to Mini Trista. Check us out online at batterymasters.com. Go Cards!
SportsLink is the official production partner of Ball State Athletics.
All the chirp you can handle.
Welcome back to Shebeck Stadium. The score 0-0 after the top of the first. Will Jacobson, the starter, with runners aboard on second and first, cleaning it up and sending his hitters out for a few swings. I'm Brayden Carroll, Roen Elbert alongside. It'll be Alex Richter, Garrett Arnold, and Dylan Grego leading off here. What do you see in those first three hitters that could give Ball State an edge here early?
Well, I see here three guys in completely different ways who can get on base for you. And Alex Richter, he'll get hit by pitches quite a bit. He's top 5 in the nation in hit by pitches. Garrett Arnold, plus 400 batting average, one of the best catchers in the nation, which is astounding considering that he hasn't been at the Division I level at all going into this year. In the 3 spot, you got Dylan Grego, a guy who can use that power to get on base. Grego is a guy who has a lot of pop on that bat, but at the same time, he can get on base in every which way. That is why I really love 1 through 3 of the Cardinals lineup.
It's going to be interesting with Gavin Bayless leading off for the Cardinals, a junior from Flushing, Michigan, previously at Mott Community College. Guy loves country music. Correction, he's from Carmel, Indiana. Jake Porter, the starting pitcher, sends a strike to start things off for the Screaming Eagles.
And with Alex Richter in the box right now for the Cardinals, left-handed batter, we open with a lefty-on-lefty matchup. Interesting.
And another strike. Dealt up by Jake Porter, an 0-2 count for the leadoff, Alex Richter. Senior from Carmel, Indiana, hailing from Marietta College. My apologies on getting the information wrong at first. The windup, the pitch, fouled way over the back fence, so it's going to be a 0-2 count still. It's Alex Richter just trying to get aboard here, facing a tough situation. The pitch sent inside, and he swings on it. That one is drilled deep into center field and under the mitts at the warning track. That's going to be Holiday with the catch.
Oh, I hate that. Warning track power to right center field, right in that right center gap. Kai Holiday cheating over to the right side to make that catch off of the bat. And you know Richter, he's got that power. He has 5 home runs on the season. That was about a foot or two away from being number 6.
Tough one for Richter. Swinging hard down 0-2, but not enough. Up here is Garrett Arnold, and he takes a strike to start off. Jake Porter dishing early.
For Garrett Arnold, this is a bounce back. You usually don't see him in these midweek matchups.
Batting .415 on the season. Watches that second pitch go wide.
You typically don't see Garrett Arnold playing in a midweek matchup. I think Rich Maloney wanted to see a little bit more from him in the Xavier series, and that's why he's playing today.
1-1 pitch fouled way back to the right side, and that one's in the parking lot as well.
Every time you say in the parking lot, I'm like, oh no, my RAV4 is done for.
A 1-2 count for Garrett Arnold. The pitch sent up high. 2-2 count he'll face. Arnold on base percentage of .492. Hasn't hit a home run this season, but he is one of the better producers on this Cardinal squad.
Arnold's the perfect example of you don't need power to get on base.
Very disciplined bat. And he fouls that one to the back fence.
You don't need that power. You don't need the pop. What you need is just get on base at which way you can. Home runs are cool, but getting on base, much cooler.
The pitch, he swings on that one, and it doesn't get by the second baseman. The throw to first is on time. What a diving play by the likes of Umbach, heading in to the shallow right field to make the stop. And it looks like it would have been a base hit for Garrett Arnold, but even better fielding from Umbach.
I'm going to say it. Anthony Umbach, you are ridiculous. Sliding to get that? Oh, my goodness. That is the perfect way for the Screaming Eagles to get started on the defensive end of things.
A strong start here in the first inning for the Screaming Eagles defense, and another strike on pitch 1. Dylan Grego watching that one go by inside.
Grego is a guy that you're not going to see him get too aggressive until later in the count.
He swings hard on that one for another strike. Gets right by him.
That kind of contradicts what I just said. However, in an 0-2 count, now you really have to be aggressive, especially with 2 outs on you here in the bottom of the first.
Grego hailing from Kansas City, Missouri. Watches that pitch go high to his head for a 1-2 count.
Porter bringing that 2-seam action, getting a little bit of rise on it, touching around 89 miles per hour. I like that 2-seamer.
Wind up, the pitch sent just above the ground, and a great stop by the catcher Wall to stop that one from going between his legs. A 2-2 count. Still on the good side of Jake Porter, looking to get out of this inning unscathed. The pitch swung on again by Dylan Grego. That one sent back for foul. As we have some kids chasing it, it landed in the stands.
Oh, I see there is a bit of a race to get a hold of that ball.
It seemed like only one kid went for it. Everybody else just watched.
I saw another kid off to the end. I think he had the edge.
The pitch sent, and USI reacting like that was over the plate, but Jason Dreyer, the home plate umpire, no strike given, and it's a full count, 3-2.
And that's kind of tough to tell from the dugout on their end.
The pitch, and it's going to be a walk. Dylan Grego, good discipline. Down on the count, sends it to 4 balls, and he is aboard with a walk.
Yeah, you're down 0-2, and then Grego is able to make it to first. Now we have a meeting of the umpires right in front of the pitcher's mound. I wonder what this can be about.
You have to wonder when the umpires discuss whether or not they're talking about Cole Kitchen's bat. Like, if that information has come through yet.
I will tell you a funny story about that. There was a player on the A's. Now they're just confirming Grego the first. There was a player on the Oakland A's. He had a cork bat. It got confiscated mid-game, put into the umpire's locker. Then a player for the A's climbed through the vent to take, because they knew he was going to get suspended, climbed through the vent, took the cork bat out. He did get caught, though, and they all got suspended.
Typical baseball shenanigans. Jake Porter, the pitch, swung on by Nick Hasovsky, sent foul back over the stands as the kids are going to chase one again. That one might have stayed in. I couldn't tell, but the trajectory made it look like that was going over.
Nick Hasovsky, that guy has so much power, so much pop, and you can tell from the first swing.
Porter sends that one right down the plate for a strike. Hasovsky caught swinging.
No doubt about it. Four seam right down the gut. That's a gutsy pitch right there, especially to a power hitter like Hasovsky. Good swing, though.
0-2 count, the pitch. Two-seamer, and he gets him. Caught looking. Big strikeout and a big start for Jake Porter. Nobody aboard off a hit for the Cardinals. Just one walk allowed by the starting Screaming Eagle, Jake Porter, and it's 0-0 to end the first inning. Next up, the Eagles to bat. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, Ball State Baseball, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Whether you're getting ready for the big game or getting ready for the workday, you always want to start with confidence. Cintas has the essential products and services to help businesses provide a clean, safe environment for their employees and customers. With routine restocking of essential cleaning, hygiene, and safety supplies, on-site cleaning, professional uniform laundering, and testing and inspection of fire equipment and systems. Give everyone the confidence they need to start their day. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
The Hampton Inn of Muncie is the official partner of Ball State Athletics. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. The Hampton Inn is one of Muncie's finest hotels. Come enjoy our free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and fresh Hampton beds waiting for you. Less than a mile away from Ball State campus. Don't forget to ask about our Ball State special. Search Hampton Inn of Muncie online at munciesuites.hamptonin.com. At munciesuites.hamptonin.com.
From the bell tower to your smartphone, anywhere in the world.
Never miss Ball State Sports with SportsLink Digital.
Welcome back to Shebeck Stadium. The score after one inning, 0-0. Ball State facing off here against Southern Indiana in the fifth game all time between these two in-state programs. I'm Brayden, Carroll, Roen, Elbert alongside. What'd you see in that first inning, Roen? What I saw was some pretty good pitching from Southern Indiana, and Ball State struggling on the bats.
That's exactly what I saw, too. At the same time, though, Will Jacobson, he had his bright spots for the Cardinals, and that is why I'm a bit hopeful to see what he can do here against 6, 7, and 8 in the lineup. It's still going to be in trouble, a bit of trouble against Umbach, Wines in red, and then Martin, 6, 7, and 8 for the Screaming Eagles.
Start off in the box for USI. It's Anthony Umbach, hitting .319 on the season, an on-base percentage of .365 year-round. Will Jacobson, the 7-footer, to pitch. That one is sent for a base hit into shallow center field. And that's a good start to the second inning for Southern Indiana.
How about that from Umbach? First pitch, take it on a ride out to right center field in front of Gavin Bayless. So now you have a leadoff single, and you go to Jacob Winsenred, who on the season, he's been struggling. A .200 average, .250 on base. This is the perfect opportunity for Will Jacobson to bounce back.
But a good opportunity for Winsenred to try and get something going this season, as Jacobson sends a softball over to Beavis. just to put some pressure on Umbach, who is taking some strong leads off of first base.
Umbach, 1 stolen bag on the year. Keep that in mind.
Strong lead off, and the pitch is sent for a strike right down the middle.
Again, a very risky pitch from Will Jacobson, going with a slider down the middle, for that matter, on Wins in Red. But hey, it gets him ahead.
Umbach, a pesky lead off first base, forces another throw by Jacobson. A little bit faster of a throw to Beavis, but again, Umbach safely at first.
I wonder if this is where Jacobson's going to build that pitch tunnel. We'll have to wait and see.
0-1 count sends that pitch inside for a ball.
I think that's kind of where the pattern ends there. You go down the middle. The question is, do you try and go more outside or more in? He can't really go outside with that slider on a righty, so he had to go in.
1-1 count. That one swung on and fouled back again. 85-mile-per-hour pitch. Sent that one fast. And just improper timing from Winston Red, who struggled with that all year.
And now you have the 1-2 count. I wonder if you try and get the chase now or you just go with what you feel comfortable with.
And another throw to first base to tell Umbach to stop taking these leads, as he is pesky. Working the gap between first and second. Winston Red looking for something on this pitch, and it's another throw to first base. Beavis will take it again. Umbach safe once more at first. Game of cat and mouse being played between Umbach and Jacobson. An even stronger lead off first. Jacobson looks, decides to pitch. Two-seamer, sent foul. Winston Red just trying to keep this alive here, as Umbach's having himself some fun between first and second, just trying to put Jacobson out of rhythm. Surely he knows that Winston Red not likely to get a board here unless he can get into the head of Jacobson, maybe force a full count and an opportunity for the batter.
That's exactly what he's thinking, but also I'm really hopeful this ends with a collision at second.
Jacobson, another throw to first, and this time Umbach goes sliding to stay at first. Well timed. I mean, he was going to be safe no matter what. That was quite the slow throw to Beavis, as Jacobson just toying right now.
I think we've all lost track of the amount of pickoff moves.
At least 5. This time a pitch. That one is sent to center field, and safely underneath it is going to be the right fielder, Jacobs. Valius came running for it, and then Jacobs called for it. A safe flyout, and the end of a quick game of cat and mouse. I'm sure Umbach will start it up again with Parker Martin up to bat for the Screaming Eagles.
You see the number 28 on the back of his jersey. You see the position third base. It makes you think a couple of things with Parker Martin.
Swings on the first pitch, sent foul, maybe an opportunity for the catcher, and that one hits the top of the roof of the dugout as Garrett Arnold went chasing for it, but had no opportunity to go grasp it.
And what you see from Parker Martin with that number 28 jersey, playing third base, you think of Nolan Arenado a little bit, and that's exactly what Martin is going for. Parker Martin, he looks up to Nolan Arenado quite a bit, and that's why you see him donning the number 28.
From Missouri, Texas, another pickoff attempt by Will Jacobson to Beavis. Umbach just refusing to quit his toying over at first. An 0-1 count, 1 out. The score is still 0-0 here in the top of the second inning. Jacobson sends this pitch high for a ball.
But this is where you have to use your slider if you're Will Jacobson. You finally get a lefty to go up against. This is where you can get that chase, especially against a guy like Martin, who as a sophomore might not have the experience that the graduate student Jacobson.
Hits on that pitch, another foul to the back fence. It is a 2-0 count here, 0-2 rather. Parker Martin, not necessarily a strong hitter for the Screaming Eagles squad. 1 double this season, no triples, no home runs. He just looks to get aboard here, batting .307 on the season. Jacobson, a long stare at Umbach at first base, another lead. Thinking about it, and decides to throw again to Beavis, to no avail.
I wonder if we'll ever get the proper climax to this battle between Umbach and Jacobson, or if the inning will end before we get that conclusion.
Jacobson will send that pitch into the dirt, safely picked up by Garrett Arnold. Preventing the passed ball.
He did try to go slider, I will give him that. However, just a little bit too much on that. But still a 2-2 count. He still very much has the advantage.
Stares at Umbach. Back to his catcher. The pitch swung on down the line to the third baseman. Going for the double play. Extension and the out. Beautiful.
5-4-3. Alex Richter to Hasofsky to Beavis. That is absolute perfection from the Cardinals infield.
And that's how you end the frame. Heading to the bottom of the second, still 0-0. And once again, another runner left on base for the Screaming Eagles. Next up, it's the Cards to bat. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Whether you're getting ready for the big game or getting ready for the workday, you always want to start with confidence. Cintas has the essential products and services to help businesses provide a clean, safe environment for their employees and customers. With routine restocking of essential cleaning, hygiene, and safety supplies, on-site cleaning, professional uniform laundering, and testing and inspection of fire equipment and systems. Give everyone the confidence they need to start their day. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
The Hampton Inn of Muncie is the official partner of Ball State Athletics. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. The Hampton Inn is one of Muncie's finest hotels. Come enjoy our free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and fresh Hampton beds waiting for you. Less than a mile away from Ball State campus. Don't forget to ask about our Ball State special. Search Hampton Inn of Muncie online at munciesuites.hamptonin.com. At munciesuites.hamptonin.com.
The best stories in Ball State sports, plus live broadcasts right in your timeline.
Follow us at BSU SportsLink.
Alongside, as we are getting ready here for the Cards' opportunity to put something on the board. A slow start for Ball State in the first inning and a clean one for the starting pitcher, Jake Porter, who is reeled to start it off for USI.
For the Cardinals, left fielder number 19, Corbin Griffin.
Now you're in a 0-0 ball game, almost through 2 innings. It's been a pitching duel so far in a bullpen day, and we are just getting started, folks.
Jake Porter still has not allowed a hit. Corbin Griffin looking to change that in the batter's box, but takes a strike to start things off, and that is the 4th time that Jake Porter has started a sequence with a strike. 0-1 count sends this one outside, and another strike sent up top. Corbin Griffin not ready for it, and he is facing a tough count early.
Griffin batting .344 going into this game. Let's see how he can battle back here in the 0-2.
The Michigan native watches that one go ball. Outside and up. A 1-2 count.
I'm very impressed by his overall development this year. He began the year being a platoon guy. Now he's an everyday player.
And got him swinging. Another strikeout for Jake Porter as Corbin Griffin taken out. 1 ball, 3 strikes. Porter starting things off strong.
DH number 28, Ben Giovanetti.
Next up, the designated hitter, Ben Giovanetti. A .294 average with .333 percentage on base. Just 1 home run this season, 7 RBIs. Watches the first pitch go high for a ball.
And what we see from Giovannetti is a guy that typically gets most of his reps during a midweek game. But boy, oh boy, with a 294 average, has he made the most of it.
Porter is pitching strong so far. That was an 88-mile-per-hour pitch. Next one there, 78, as Giovannetti sends it foul to the left side.
We haven't seen Jake Porter go 3 innings all season. Here we are in the bottom of the second. He's well on pace to do so.
1-1 count, 1 out, nobody aboard. Pitch right down the middle, another foul by Giovannetti, sent back.
You have to give him credit, though. He is battling. Now that he's down 1-2, though, that aggressiveness that you already see, it's going to tick up even more.
2-1 count. The pitch swung on, and another strike dished by Jake Porter. 2 straight batters caught swinging. And that brings up Blake Beavis to try and end this Porter run.
An absolute beauty up top with the fastball. What we're seeing here is that four-seam fastball from Jake Porter up high in the zone. He's getting that chase that he wants up top.
Beavis, an all-around star, 6 home runs this season. Last season, a second-team All-MAC recipient. Watches that pitch go in for another strike. Jake Porter can't be stopped right now. Caught Beavis on a 79-mile-per-hour take across plate. 0-1 count. Swung on and fouled left side. A few bounces and it heads across the dugout and well out of play. An 0-2 count with 2 outs for Jake Porter.
And with how the trend is going right now, this is not what you want to see if you're a Cardinal fan.
Swings on that pitch, sent high, flying, and maybe that's gone. It is! Blake Beavis, his 7th home run of the season. Goodbye. Over the trees and sent for the first score of the game. A solo trip for Blake Beavis.
Again, Shebeck Stadium is one of the most hitter-friendly ballparks in the entire nation. And what you saw right there was Beavis using the wind to his advantage. That is why he is one of, if not the best, power hitters on this Cardinal team. What power does he have? Now it's 1-0 Cardinals.
And the thing about that is the wind really carried that ball. It didn't look like it was gone until you start watching the left fielder, Boyd, just say goodbye to it. The wind picks that ball up, moving 15 miles per hour southeast and takes it across. A bunt here taken by Clay Jacobs, running to first. Did he get there in time? He is called out. A great play by Jake Porter to read the bunt and make the safe throw over to Winston Red. So a solid inning by Jake Porter, but Beavis says good night to your perfect night and sends a homer over the right field wall. 1-0. Cards have the lead through 2 innings. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
American Pest Pros is the official pest control partner of Ball State Athletics. We protect your home or business and guarantee year-round protection from insects and pests. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. Our pest control program is the safest and most effective in the industry. Even if you tried a different service and it didn't work, we'll fix your problem, guaranteed, or your money back. Visit AmericanPestPros.com. That's AmericanPestPros.com. And don't forget to ask about our Ball State special.
Ball State fans, who needs batteries? Your locally owned Battery Masters have batteries for cars, boats, golf carts, cell phones, watches, key fobs, Papergo toys for kids, and more. Bring your rechargeable batteries back to life for drills, shavers, dustbusters, and more. All Ball State fans receive a free battery checkup. Just mention Charlie Cardinal. Battery Masters is conveniently located on the corner of Walnut and Centennial, next to Mini Trista. Check us out online at batterymasters.com. Go Cards!
The best stories in Ball State sports, plus live broadcasts right in your timeline.
Follow us at BSU SportsLink.
Welcome back to Shebeck Stadium. The score 1-0 after 2 innings, and Blake Beavis, his 7th home run of the season, over the right field wall to put the Cards on the scoreboard late in that second inning. That was a big turnaround for Ball State. It looked like Jake Porter was absolutely reeling in the ears, and then in comes Beavis to say goodnight.
Blake Beavis, what power does he have? The experience coincides with the amount of power he has. He was out in Fort Lauderdale with Dylan Grego over the summer, got good training in. Now we have a discussion here on the third baseline between both head coaches and all three umpires. I wonder what the issue is here, but it looks like we're getting back to the action.
Just some friendly chopping about baseball, maybe. Few fun conversations. Coach Maloney, one of the most veteran coaches in the Midwest, and then Chris Ramirez in his first season at the head of the Screaming Eagles. Will Jacobson at the mound. Up to bat is the catcher, Micaiah Wall, who watches that first pitch go for a ball.
Yeah, Wall, like many other Screaming Eagles in year one with Southern Indiana.
6'6", 200 pounds. That pitch is a strike right down the middle.
He played last season out in the Coastal Plain League, one of the top summer collegiate baseball leagues with the Forest City Owls.
Transferred from Lenore Rhine following Coach Chris Ramirez from the Division II level now to Division I. He has trust in his first-year head coach to do something here, which they already have. Top 3 in the Ohio Valley Conference to start it off. A ball, 2-1. This pitch is sent for a strike. Four-seamer touching the inside of the plate, 2-2 count.
Right there on the bottom half, though, that's exactly where you're going to get it. It's right there with 2 strikes.
Jacobson, the pitch. Sends over his head. Could it be a base hit? Heaving throw, not in time. Hasovsky tried to get it to Beavis mid-air, but safely aboard. Micaiah Wall goes for a single.
There was not much Hasovsky could have done, but still A-plus effort there. Right behind the second base bag into shallow center field. The second baseman did a little 360 turn, tried to get him out at first, but it was well too late at that point. That was a good bouncer by Wall, to get out to center.
And that brings up the top of the order. Patrick McClellan at the batter's box faces a strike to start things off. Will Jacobson starting to get into his rhythm, a little more consistent with these strikes early in the count. The pitch sent low for a ball. Going for the two-seamer, not enough air on that one.
Yeah, the two-seamer is correct there. On that bottom half, he's bringing the heat more now rather than the slider that we saw in the last inning of work.
1-1 count, one aboard at first. That pitch sent up, a dribbler off the ground, and an error by the third baseman, Richter. He got there in time to the shallow infield, but lost his handles on the ball, and that will send McClellan safely to first with Wall at second. With no outs, the Screaming Eagles well in position to score here in this inning.
I wonder what the official ruling will be. They're saying hip at the same time. Richter, you got to scoop that up, even if you are kind of on the run.
You think it would be an error just given the opportunity that Richter had to pick it up, but it was a tough bounce off of the ground just in front of the batter's box. Presented him with a hard opportunity to get it and just didn't get his glove around. Runners aboard second and first as Holiday going for the bunt, a passed ball behind, and that will bring McClellan to third and Wall to second.
Now he got 2 in scoring position with nobody out. Holiday's up after, and then after that you got Kitchens and Boyd. That is a very powerful part of the lineup for Southern Indiana. This is pretty dangerous.
1-0 count, adding insult to injury as that was called a ball. And already a dangerous situation for the Ball State defense. The pitch sent low for another ball. This time Arnold safely prevents another passed ball. A 2-0 count. McClellan on third, Wall on second. With Kai Holiday looking to get the Eagles on the board. The pitch. Another low one and another ball. 3-0 count. Holiday has to be feeling confident. A big opportunity to load the bases for the star hitter, Cole Kitchens.
And that's huge, especially with the way the wind's blowing today out into right. Could be a huge opportunity.
3-0 count. The pitch. Holiday going for bunt, and it's another ball. The bases are loaded. Coach Maloney getting ready for a mound check here. With Will Jacobson in a jam. No outs, bases loaded. With the Screaming Eagles down 1-0.
Yep, there's action in the Cardinal bullpen. I'm seeing somebody moving towards the fence. We will get a change, it appears. Will Jacobson handing the ball to Rich Maloney.
Tough break for Will Jacobson. He started off his start pretty well, but in this situation with the bases loaded and no outs, you got to switch.
But yeah, the Cardinals going to a pitching change. He has quite a bit of time to warm up. They'll give him a nice little 2-minute warm up.
Still waiting to see who it is.
That's always the tough part. The anticipation always kind of kills you in that sense.
Getting ready to warm up. As it's going to be Zach Leduc, the junior from Canada, to try and get the Cardinals out of a difficult jam. He's made 10 appearances this season, 3-0 with a 4.02 ERA. He's made a save. He's pitched in 15 innings thus far, only given up 7 earned runs on 18 hits. He's definitely the type of guy that Coach Maloney can trust in a jam like this to at least play the prevent game. Obviously, it's tough to prevent USI from scoring, but just getting Cole Kitchens out of the situation, striking him out, and then minimizing damage from there, that's really what the Cardinals need.
Yes, but with Leduc here, the ERA might not look the prettiest. A 4 ERA flat, that's not really, but it's not really indicative of what he's done this season. He has been one of the more reliable arms for the Cardinals coming out of the bullpen. I would honestly put Leduc up there with guys like Garrett Harker in the Cardinals bullpen, guys who are constantly brought upon to close out games or at least be a big force to go 2-3 innings. Leduc could give you a nice 2-3 inning cushion for the Cardinals. It's a shame that they didn't get what they wanted out of Will Jacobson, but Leduc can be a nice rebound guy.
Leduc has seen his fair share, both here as a Cardinal this season and prior to his time at Ball State. Played for Frontier Community College, started 22 of 28 games. He holds the school record for strikeouts in a single season with 92. And you mentioned that ERA, it's struggling a little bit with that 4.02 mark. But obviously, you've seen worse. His strikeout percentage is pretty solid for the season with 14 strikeouts. 18 hits allowed, just looking to get the Cardinals out of what is a tight situation.
It's not going to be easy, though. Nobody out, bases are juiced, and up comes Cole Kitchens.
The star hitter, 3 home runs, a batting average of .450, and a clean count with no outs. Bases loaded. Watches that first pitch, a splitter down to the dirt for a 1-0 count. The pitch, another low ball for another ball.
That is not the start you want. You're going with your breaking stuff early. I like it for Leduc, but at this point in a 2-0 count, you got to start bringing the heat and get some strikes.
Wind up the pitch, caught him swinging. A 2-seamer sends this count to 2-1.
That kind of movement there from Leduc, dropping down on Kitchens. That's what's going to get that chase down on the bottom half. You're not going to get it up top from Kitchens.
Pitch swings on it, foul. Sent to the back track. A 2-2 count with bases loaded and 0 outs. Holiday, McClellan, and Wall aboard. 3-1, first base, second base, third base in that order. Cole Kitchens ready to take this swing. The pitch inside, almost hit him. And it's going to pass the catcher. The throw not in time. Arnold let it go by him off of the foul tip. And that will send Micaiah Wall home for the first run of the game for USI.
Look at that. We're all knotted up at 1, and you still have 2 in scoring position with Kitchens up in a 3-2 count. This is pretty big for the Screaming Eagles to potentially, with one swing of the bat, break it wide open.
McClellan moves to second, McClellan moves to third, Holiday to second. That pitch swung on deep into right field underneath at the warning track. A jumping save by Jacobs. Did he get it? No, he did not. It's a home run. Excuse me. He did not get it in time.
I thought he got it too, honestly, because the moment I heard the roar from the Screaming Eagles, I thought, I knew right then and there it was gone, but I thought with the way Jacobs did right there, I thought that was a Sports Center top 10 grab out in right field to make that catch. But now, just like that, it's a 4-1 ball game. Cole Kitchens with his 4th home run of the season, and not really a power hitting team. The Screaming Eagles with their 7th team home run all year.
Almost a highlight play.
Well, it was for one end.
It was for Cole Kitchens. He can put that on his highlight reel. Unfortunately, Clay Jacobs would rather not. First pitch is a strike, second a ball. 1-1 count. With Cameron Boyd in the batter's box for the Screaming Eagles, his squad up 4-1 after a 3-run homer by Cole Kitchens. Pitch sent, swung on to the shortstop and thrown safely out. Dylan Grego makes the play. And although momentum is definitely in the hands of the Screaming Eagles, anything to help the squad out in what has been a tough frame is certainly appreciated by Dylan Grego.
Yeah, Grego making the routine play. That's what you'd hope for your shortstop, who is really improved with the glove.
Up to bat, Clayton Slack watches the first pitch go wide for ball 1. Duke, the pitch. Nice curve inside for the strike. 1-1.
That's what I like about LeDuc. He has a myriad of breaking balls like that curveball you just mentioned that's able to drop in on the inside.
That pitch sent just low over the plate, but not high enough to warrant a strike from Jason Dreyer. 2-1 count with 1 out. No players aboard after the 3-run homer by Cole Kitchens. Check swing, not enough to warrant a strike as it's another ball. 3-1 count. LeDuc not taking much time between pitches. Takes his time on this one and sends that one wide into the right side batter's box for ball 4. That puts Slack aboard at first.
It's been a rough go for LeDuc. You give up that big-time shot, the 3-run home run to Cole Kitchens. Now you have a runner aboard with 1 out, and they just made yet another change. We're going to see a 3rd pitcher in this inning for the Cardinals.
You can hardly blame Coach Maloney with the tough start here in the 3rd inning. Jacobson putting runners aboard at all bases, and then LeDuc giving up the devastating 3-run homer as well as a passed ball walk to Micaiah Wall.
That's a nightmare scenario for a pitcher where you go into an outing, you're expecting, okay, I'm going to get us out of the jam. Maybe I'll give you a good 3 innings, 3-4 innings. But then it's really the opposite. If you blink, you miss your whole appearance out there. It's a nightmare. Now you got Drew Young out there on the mound for the Cardinals. An ERA of 15 on the season. Really hasn't been there this year, but at the same time, if there's any kind of opportunity for Drew Young to make his mark on this team, potentially build himself up as a big-time reliever for this squad, now is the time.
So Drew Young, number 20, warming up to pitch here. Will Jacobson gave up 4 hits as the starter. And then Zach Duke gave up only 1 hit, but a devastating 3-run homer, 4 earned runs in less than an inning pitched by Duke. So now it's Young's turn to try and ignite something for this Ball State defense. Pitching right-handed, a senior from Greenwood, Indiana, Center Grove High School, his native land. And he is looking for something here with 1 out on the board for him and a 4-1 USI lead.
For Drew Young, what I've really liked from him all season is that curveball. That curveball is absolutely money if he's able to locate it and not really leave it as a meatball over the middle of the zone. He has been great with that, and you're in a pretty solid position when it comes to lineup placement. Sure, you got a runner on first, and sure, you're down by 3, but at the same time, you're facing 6, 7, and 8 in the lineup. Last time the Cardinals had an opportunity to face 6, 7, and 8, it was Will Jacobson, who, although gave up a single to Umbach, he was able to retire 2 batters, and all 3 of them at the end of the day with a 5-4-3 double play.
Speaking of which, Umbach is up to bat after another pitching change for the Cardinals. Got a board on a single in the second inning, looking to do the same here. Batting .319 on the season, 5 RBIs. The first pitch, this appearance by Drew Young. Up top, almost a base hit, but signal foul by Nathaniel Haveman, the first base umpire. Went just inside before crossing the baseline.
That would have been definitely extra bases for Umbach had it got down. Left the curveball a little bit too over the middle right there from Young.
0-1 count, 1 out with 1 aboard, and Young will throw to Beavis, trying to force the pickoff. Clayton Slack unfazed at first as he continues to take some long strides over to second. The windup and the pitch. Check swung. Too deep for Umbach. It's a strike and an 0-2 count.
Perfect way for Drew Young to start his outing, to have Umbach in an 0-2 count, using your breaking stuff to your advantage. Let's see if he continues it.
And another throw over to Beavis at first to try and pick off Umbach, or rather Slack. And he is safe at first again.
And to paint the picture, these are not softballs he's throwing over there. He's going full speed with those pickoff moves.
Pitch. Called ball. Sent that one out, in and out rather, and not enough to warrant a strike call. 1-2 count. I believe that was sent into the lower left corner, just a bit wide.
I think Young with these pickoff moves, he's throwing harder to first than he is home plate.
Pitch, two-seamer down the middle, another base hit into the shortstop third base gap. Gathered by Griffin in left field, and that will send the likes of Slack to second. And a strong hit by Umbach to get him aboard at first.
With 1 out, you come up against Jacob Winsenred, who last time around flew out to deep right field. This is interesting. I think at this point with Winsenred, what you need to do with Drew Young on the mound is this is your opportunity to go with your best stuff, take a bit of a chance with the strike zone because you're going up against a 200 hitter here.
Pitch swung on. Four-seamer, 82 miles per hour for the strike, 0-1 count.
And that's exactly what I mean. Drew Young bringing the heat right there and taking chances against Winsenred.
5 on the pitch clock. The pitch sent out, trying to pick off the catcher, trying to pick off Umbach, and the throw gets right by Beavis, and that allows Clayton Slack to easily head to third base unopposed. This is a disastrous inning for the Ball State Cardinals.
It sure is, because now you're in a situation where you have a runner on third with only one out. The sac fly is in play, and Winston Red in his last at-bat, he proved that he can pop up anything into the outfield. If you get the out, no biggie, because that's going to bring in a run from third, and all of a sudden, it would be a 4-run lead for the Screaming Eagles.
Drew Young tries to pick off Umbach at first. Throw not in time. Runners in the corners. Time called by Winston Reed.
But here in the 1-1 count, Drew Young, we haven't seen the curveball as much after the last at-bat. Let's see if he goes back to it here with 1 ball and 1 strike to his name.
1-1 count. The pitch, Winston Reed going for bunt, and it's gathered by Arnold. But it's signaled a ball, a 2-1 count.
I wonder if he goes back to bunt on the next pitch, because that would be a perfect opportunity. Sure, you'd have 2 outs, but you'd have 2 in scoring position potentially for Southern Indiana.
And a fake pickoff to first and sent to third, and an out. That was beautiful by Richter and Jacobson. Rather, Young with a beautiful fake. Faked the throw to Beavis at first, and then turned around, threw it to Richter at third to get the out. A beautiful pickoff.
Brayden, I have not seen anything like that in a long time. That fooled me. That fooled everybody. My eyes were not glued over the third base. What a perfectionate play from Drew Young.
Clayton Slack, a tough trot into the dugout. Can hardly blame him for getting caught there, and all of a sudden it's a 3-1 count with 2 outs and a big chance for Young to get out of this disastrous inning for the Cardinals. Winston Reed still at the batter's box. The pitch sent inside for a walk. Umbach heads to second. Winston Reed heads to first. And up to bat is Parker Martin. 13 RBIs this season, looking for something here with a .307 batting average. Just below 400 on base.
It's crazy, though, that we have Micajah Wall on deck for USI, who started this inning, and he's on deck. Goes to show what a great inning it's been for them.
Pitch sent low for a ball. .82-mile-per-hour pitch. Runners at second and first with 2 outs. USI leading 4-1. That pitch sent right down the pipe for the strike. 1-1 count.
I think that's the highest velo we've seen on Drew Young all day today. That time touching around 89 miles per hour with the fastball. Known for his breaking stuff, bringing the heat there.
Another pitch down the middle, sent to center field and safely into the hands of Bayless to get the third out that the Cards have been waiting for in the third inning. 4 runs stacked together by Southern Indiana, and it is 4-1 Screaming Eagles with the Cards next up to bat to round out the third inning. You're listening to SportsLink Digital, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
American Pest Pros is the official pest control partner of Ball State Athletics. We protect your home or business and guarantee year-round protection from insects and pests. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. Our pest control program is the safest and most effective in the industry. Even if you tried a different service and it didn't work, we'll fix your problem, guaranteed, or your money back. Visit AmericanPestPros.com. That's AmericanPestPros.com. And don't forget to ask about our Ball State special.
Ball State fans, who needs batteries? Your locally owned Battery Masters have batteries for cars, boats, golf carts, cell phones, watches, key fobs, Papergo toys for kids, and more. Bring your rechargeable batteries back to life for drills, shavers, dustbusters, and more. All Ball State fans receive a free battery checkup. Just mention Charlie Cardinal. Battery Masters is conveniently located on the corner of Walnut and Centennial, next to Mini Trista. Check us out online at batterymasters.com. Go Cards!
From trivia night at Brothers and tater tots at Roots.
Never miss a Ball State game with SportsLink Digital.
Welcome back to Shebeck Stadium. The score 4-1 in favor of the visiting Screaming Eagles, looking for their first all-time win against Ball State. And maybe a 4-run third inning highlighted by Cole Kitchen's 3-run home run could propel them to such a victory.
Yes, that is the type of momentum you need to get on the Cardinals early. However, I mentioned it earlier in the broadcast, you're dealing with the cardiac Cardinals here. I know a 3-run cushion isn't a lot, but you have to know that no matter what the lead is, it's never really game over until you get that final out against Ball State.
I'm sure USI feels quite confident. In fact, they've sent Jake Porter, who had a fantastic 2 innings pitched with no hits allowed and strikeout after strikeout. They have sent him into the dugout as Abdrell Figueroa will come into this one.
Yeah, Figueroa is a guy, comes from Puerto Rico, who this season as a whole, it's been very up and down. He's had a few good outings, a 7 ERA, but I would really contribute most of that 7 ERA to a bad outing he had against Alabama State back in February when he gave up 5 earned runs. But other than that, all of his outings have been either 1 earned run or less.
First pitch by Figueroa signaled a ball. With up to bat, Gavin Bayless rounding out the order for Ball State. Trying to get something going here in the third inning. Down 3 runs, and it's another ball sent outside by Figueroa.
Look at that fastball, though, touching 93 miles per hour. I think that's the top velo we've seen, but unfortunately unable to locate it so far.
Another 2-seam fastball, that time a strike. Getting the location down, 2-1 count, 91 miles per hour.
Sheesh, man, Figueroa, he's got good stuff. I want to see more of his breaking stuff, however.
Swung on, sent over the head of the first baseman, but foul is the signal from Nathaniel Haveman, the first base umpire. Winston Reed went jumping for it, but it looks like that wind just carried it foul, because initially it seemed like it was going to be a base hit.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the 15-mile-per-hour winds, you would think that would get down right on the third baseline.
2-2 count, curveball up, touching the top of the elbow line for Bayless. Another ball in a full count, 3-2. Figueroa trying to start off his appearance with something strong, a curveball sent up top for the 4th ball. Bayless safely aboard.
You're dealing with Gavin Bayless here, who has a .413 on base, and he leads it off with a walk. Now you go to the top of the order. Bayless, I like to call him the perfect setup guy for the Cardinals. Bayless is a guy who can get you on base, to have the top of the order in a big-time position to make an impact.
And he set up the top of the order with number 3, Alex Richter, up to bat. Batting .216, watches a strike. A beautiful curve from Figueroa.
That was a beautiful pitch right there. That left-right motion right down the pipe.
Sent that one in at 81 miles per hour. Pitch, fast one, caught Richter swinging, and it's an 0-2 count.
You don't see Richter getting this aggressive. It's because Figueroa is giving him really good stuff. He's just a tad bit behind on it.
Abdrell Figueroa starting off strong. That's a fast curveball, but a ball just low of the strike zone. 1-2 count, 81 miles per hour on a curve that had at least 3 to 4 inches. Pitch, the throw to second base, not in time. as Gavin Bayless safely gets to second, stealing.
However, Richter, he struck out there. You have to remember, he tried to keep his swing in check, but he swung on the inside. Figueroa getting the chase, although a runner in scoring position. In a way, you kind of got what you wanted.
So 1 out with Richter at the top of the order, striking out. Garrett Arnold up to bat. Second in the order at .415 average, .492 on base, with a runner on second in Gavin Bayless. Figueroa, the pitch, up top for the strike. And Arnold shakes his head. Didn't think that one was good, but just barely grazing the upper right corner.
That is
the strike zone.
That is pretty tough, I will say.
That was a hard one to call with the movement on the curveball. Curves this one inside out, and that's a ball, 1-1.
You've got that runner on second with Bayless. Arnold is the guy who is, I like to call, one of the best guys on this lineup when it comes to getting on base.
Curveball up top for another ball, 2-1 count. Gavin Bayless taking some generous strides off of second base. Was able to steal second, coming from first on the last at-bat. Catching the Eagles off guard off of Richter's strikeout. A 2-1 count with 1 out. Bayless, a deep stride and a strike taken by Garrett Arnold. Figueroa pitching that one at 81 miles per hour.
Right down the middle, he goes slider that time around. Looked like it's going to go inside, but however, at the last second, breaking right down the middle.
2-2 count. Figueroa looks back at Bayless. Arnold swings and sends it foul deep into right field.
Arnold completely skied that one out into right. He's not really known for the power, but that time around, he brought it. But still, you're down to 1 strike here in this at-bat.
He has 20 hits and 5 doubles. A double may be able to send Bayless home here. Swinging for the base hit, gets behind Figueroa. Diving save by Umbach, and the throw out to first. Did they get him in time? Yes, they did. Winston Reed at first base makes the catch, and that's a beautiful out between him and Umbach. Umbach went to his knees to make the save after the ball went right by Figueroa.
How does that happen? Umbach is ridiculous, man. A 360 spin over at second, over the first. Figueroa, he's bringing good stuff, but his infield is there to back him up.
In the process, Bayless makes it to third base to get into scoring position with 2 outs. Up to bat, Dylan Grego watches the first ball go right down the pipe for the strike. Figueroa trying to get out of this scoring situation and leave Bayless stranded. The windup and the pitch. Swung on and belted deep into left field, but safely into the hands of McClellan to end the inning. 1 runner left stranded at third in Bayless, and it's still 4-1 Southern Indiana, with Figueroa getting out of the scoring situation. You're listening to SportsLink Digital and Ball State Athletics, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. Next up, we're switching Roen Elbert on play-by-play as he'll take you through innings 4 through 7. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Ball State Baseball.
American Pest Pros is the official pest control partner of Ball State Athletics. We protect your home or business and guarantee year-round protection from insects and pests. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. Our pest control program is the safest and most effective in the industry. Even if you tried a different service and it didn't work, we'll fix your problem, guaranteed, or your money back. Visit AmericanPestPros.com. That's AmericanPestPros.com. And don't forget to ask about our Ball State special.
Ball State fans, who needs batteries? Your locally owned Battery Masters have batteries for cars, boats, golf carts, cell phones, watches, key fobs, Papergo toys for kids, and more. Bring your rechargeable batteries back to life for drills, shavers, dustbusters, and more. All Ball State fans receive a free battery checkup. Just mention Charlie Cardinal. Battery Masters is conveniently located on the corner of Walnut and Centennial, next to Mini Trista. Check us out online at batterymasters.com. Go Cards!
SportsLink is the official production partner of Ball State Athletics.
All the chirp you can handle.
Top of the fourth action at Shebeck Stadium. I'm Roen Elbert, joined by my good friend Brayden Carroll. The Ball State Cardinals currently trailing to the Southern Indiana Screaming Eagles 4-1 as they host them on a very cloudy, overcast day. Wind blowing out to right field. Drew Young back on the mound for the Cardinals. His first full inning of work potentially, with Micajah Wall due up to hit for the Eagles.
And you know, if you're Ball State, you just got to be happy that you're moving on to the next inning here after what was a tough third inning. They went through two different pitchers before Young got them out of the jam, but loading the bases and then Cole Kitchens leaving the best hitter on this USI squad to that 3-run homer. A lot of damage.
The first pitch catches the outside with the breaking ball. 0-1 to start us off from Drew Young. Yeah, he primarily was facing the bottom of the order, but still, towards the end, got what he wanted. 0-1 the count, lets it fly. Popped up in the air to right field, back towards the warning track. Clay Jacobs is under it. He makes the catch for the first out. 1 up, 1 down here at the top of the fourth.
It's a tough start to this game for Parker Martin. In the second inning, he gets double played on the 5-4-3 to end the second inning, and then a tough fly out there to the warning track. The ball follows the wind. He hit that where he wanted it, just not enough gas behind it.
Now you go to Patrick McClellan. He reached base via an error the last time around. A 12-game hitting streak, looking to continue that. Righty on righty the matchup. Drew Young, the first pitch fires. Hammers it foul off to the right side into the parking lot. We begin 0-1. Young entering this contest with a 13 ERA. He's looking to lower that number significantly here. His 0-1 pitch, lets it fly. Goes fastball and fouls it off again into the parking lot. Young has him where he wants him now. 0-2 our count.
McClellan, 305 batting average. He's one of the better hitters on this team. There's a reason that he's leading off. Haven't seen him do much yet.
0-2 drops well outside of the zone. They ask for a check swing on the first baseline. First base umpire says no. 1-2 the count now on McClellan. Garrett Arnold avoiding a pass ball there as he slid off to his right. Young looks down, gets his signs from Arnold. Now the 1-2. He goes fastball low. 2-2 our count.
Patrick McClellan, he is a power hitter. He doesn't have a home run this season, but 3 doubles, 2 triples. He's just looking to get this one somewhere in the play.
Young lets it fly. 2-2, unable to get him looking on the bottom frame. Went with the 2-seamer, unable to bite it. What a comeback here from Patrick McClellan. It started 0-2, now to a full count with 1 away and nobody aboard here in the top of the fourth. The 3-2 pitch. And he got him looking. Drew Young backwards K. 2 up, 2 down in the top of the fourth. Now up for the Screaming Eagles, it's Kai Holiday. Holiday last time around, he walked, and he was also hit by a pitch.
Yeah, that was a great pitch right there by Young. Just reading the type of affair McClellan has had so far, getting aboard on a single in the third inning, realizing he's going for a power shot, and then letting something dip in, knowing he's maybe waiting for the ball too, and catching him looking.
That time goes with the 2-seamer on the outside, misses low for ball 1. Righty on righty our matchup with Holiday against Drew Young. The 1-0 pitch. Right down Broadway for a strike, 4-seam fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Currently Southern Indiana a 4-1 lead over Ball State here in the top of the fourth. 2 outs, nobody aboard. 1-1 our count. Drew Young. He winds it up, now the pitch. Goes back to the fastball, misses low, in and out of the glove of Garrett Arnold. 2 balls and 1 strike.
And Holiday has a great eye. He's been walked 9 times this season, 3 hit by pitches. In the process, though, sometimes that gets the better of him with 18 strikeouts taken as well. He is a all-or-nothing type of eye.
2-1, did he go all the way? Not quite, just keeping it in check on the bottom half of the zone. 3-1 our count. Drew Young looking for a 1-2-3 inning. It would be the first 1-2-3 inning for either team today. Here it comes. Hammers it foul on the right side. Full count at the plate. Back-to-back full counts for Drew Young and the Cardinals.
I know you mentioned at the start of this game it was more of a bullpen type of affair, but if Young can get out of this 1-2-3, maybe you keep him in for a little longer.
He certainly can. 3-2. It's a bouncer to shortstop. Grego collects it, sends it to first. He got him for the third out. 1, 2, 3 for Drew Young and the Cardinals. That'll do it for the top frame of the fourth inning. That'll send us to the bottom of the fourth. Southern Indiana with a 4-1 lead over the Cardinals. We'll be right back. You're listening to Ball State Baseball on SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Whether you're getting ready for the big game or getting ready for the workday, you always want to start with confidence. Cintas has the essential products and services to help businesses provide a clean, safe environment for their employees and customers. With routine restocking of essential cleaning, hygiene, and safety supplies, on-site cleaning, professional uniform laundering, and testing and inspection of fire equipment and systems. Give everyone the confidence they need to start their day. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
The Hampton Inn of Muncie is the official partner of Ball State Athletics. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. The Hampton Inn is one of Muncie's finest hotels. Come enjoy our free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and fresh Hampton beds waiting for you. Less than a mile away from Ball State campus. Don't forget to ask about our Ball State special. Search Hampton Inn of Muncie online at munciesweets.hamptonin.com. At munciesweets.hamptonin.com.
Ranked number 2 in the nation for sports media by the Broadcast Education Association.
This is Ball State Sports Link.
We return with bottom of the fourth action here in Muncie, Indiana. The Ball State Cardinals taking on the Southern Indiana Screaming Eagles. I'm Roen Elbert, joined by my partner Brayden Carroll. Current score 4-1 in favor of the Screaming Eagles. Abdrell Figueroa still on the mound for USI with his second inning of full work. Last time around, however, despite the one walk, he had the next 3 outs. Figueroa had really good stuff, Brayden.
Yeah, he's stepping up big time, and he's had a tough start to his season. With 9 innings pitched, he's given up 10 runs in that time with 15 hits and a home run, but he's coming up here in this game and really showing his worth. I mean, he has a fantastic arsenal of pitches. Most of them have been in the 80s, some in the 90s. He's really showing that arm, and you know, maybe if you're first-year head coach Chris Ramirez, it brings you some confidence just seeing a guy come out, not the starter, but show up out of conference.
Nick Kosofsky in the box. First pitch. Goes with the slider, catches it on the top half to start us off 0-1. Righty on righty arm matchup. Kosofsky the last time around struck out looking. You don't see that on his stat sheet very often, looking to turn the tides here. Figueroa is 0-1 delivery. Goes with the fastball again on the bottom half. Gets a strike yet again. 0-2 now on Kosofsky.
Man, 91-mile-per-hour two-seamer. He just has that pinpoint targeting right down the stripe. I mean, that's beautiful.
Indeed it is. Figueroa looking to back it up with the 0-2. Slider gets the big whiff on the outside. 3 strikes for Figueroa is all it took. 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom of the fourth.
He is reeling in the years right now. Figueroa, how about the type of game he's having, hailing from Puerto Rico, and he's coming up big time for Southern Indiana.
Figueroa, he is one of 2 players on that Southern Indiana roster hailing from Puerto Rico. Also one of many transfers. Now in the box is Corbin Griffin, left-handed batter against the righty pitcher Figueroa. He takes a deep breath. Now the first pitch. Goes with the fastball high and away to the lefty Griffin for ball 1. Griffin, so far today, he has struck out swinging. Goes into this game batting .344.
With 4 home runs and 11 RBIs, he's one of the better hitters in this rotation.
The 1-0 pitch is sent all the way back over the press box and into a different zip code. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, Griffin's frustrated there, getting out of the batter's box, shaking his head. You could tell he was hitting to go yard, a very strong swing, but didn't get on top of the ball enough.
Figueroa's 1-1. What a nasty slider. Unable to bite it on the outside to the lefty Griffin, but still a nasty pitch.
Some major movement on that, going 79.
You just don't see that every day. 2-1 our count. Here's the pitch. Goes right back, just above the backstop on Griffin. 2-2.
Griffin's swinging hard. He's trying to bring some energy to this squad. You got 2-2 count, 1 out, down 3 runs. You can tell he's going for something big in the outfield, playing deep, especially on the right side.
Here's a 2-2. Well inside with the fastball and at the knees of Corbin Griffin. It's a full count with 1 out, nobody on base for Ball State here in the bottom of the 4th. Southern Indiana, however, a 4-1 lead over the Cardinals. Abdrell Figueroa gets in the stands. The 3-2 pitch to Griffin on its way. It's a bounce to second base. Umbach collects it. The throw to first. He got him. There's your second out here in the bottom of the 4th.
Tough swing by Griffin. He catches the top of the ball, rather, and ends up dribbling that one inside the infield. Everybody was ready for that. Just a tough swing from Griffin. He's a power hitter. He knows it, but right there just didn't get the right trajectory on the ball.
The Cardinals in the last inning in the top of the 4th, they had their first 1-2-3 inning of the game. Southern Indiana looking to do it themselves with Ben Giovanetti up for the Cardinals. Righty on righty. The first pitch. It's a slider dropping well low and straight away to Giovanetti for ball 1. His last time around, he struck out swinging. 1-0 our count. The kick. The deep breath and the pitch. Slider, it's a chopper to third base. He collects it, sends it to first, and he got him for that third out. Right there, it was Parker Martin at third base sending it to first, and that will do it for the bottom of the 4th inning. A pair of 1-2-3 innings for both teams. Top of the 5th action coming your way. 4-1 Southern Indiana lead. You're listening to Ball State Baseball, presented by SL Digital Radio on presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
American Pest Pros is the official pest control partner of Ball State Athletics. We protect your home or business and guarantee year-round protection from insects and pests. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. Our pest control program is the safest and most effective in the industry. Even if you tried a different service and it didn't work, we'll fix your problem, guaranteed, or your money back. Visit AmericanPestPros.com. That's AmericanPestPros.com. And don't forget to ask about our Ball State special.
Ball State fans, who needs batteries? Your locally owned Battery Masters have batteries for cars, boats, golf carts, cell phones, watches, key fobs, Papergo toys for kids, and more. Bring your rechargeable batteries back to life for drills, shavers, dustbusters, and more. All Ball State fans receive a free battery checkup. Just mention Charlie Cardinal. Battery Masters is conveniently located on the corner of Walnut and Centennial, next to Mini Trista. Check us out online at batterymasters.com. Go Cards!
From Trivia Night at Brothers and Tater Tots at Roots.
Never miss a Ball State game with SportsLink Digital.
We resume with top of the 5th action here at Shebeck Stadium. Drew Young still shoving for the Cardinals. However, Southern Indiana 4-1 lead over Ball State. Brayden, at this point in the game, you got Cole Kitchens leading off. You know how dangerous of a hitter he is. He's 2 for 2, has a 3-run home run. How can Drew Young contain him?
I think that he just has to do anything to keep this ball. I mean, he can't throw 2-seamers. He has to keep it outside of the middle of the plate. Try and force Cole Kitchens to go for some of these swings and anything really to prevent another homer. He already has shown he's aiming for yard, a strong single into the outfield early in the 1st inning, and then that 3-run homer in the 3rd. He's going to be swinging. Maybe some improvisation can get him out.
The first pitch is a 4-seam fastball found for a strike on the bottom half. 0-1. It's a righty-on-righty matchup with Drew Young to Cole Kitchens, the DH on the day for Southern Indiana. Young, he sets up the 0-1. Now the pitch. Goes back to the 4-seamer on the inside and again on the bottom half for a strike. Drew Young catching him early, 0-2.
Some bold pitches here, just sending the fastballs Kitchens can get a hold of one of these and send them deep, but he hasn't even swung yet.
The 0-2 pitch is well outside into the opposite batter's box. Garrett Arnold having to slide all the way to his right to get a hold of that one. 1-2 on Cole Kitchens, the transfer from Crowder College where he spent the last 2 seasons. 1-2 on the way. On the inside, fouled back towards him. Kitchens limps away. It'll be called foul, but still he has to take a moment to collect himself.
Hit him in the lower body somewhere. Looks like he's limping heavily on the right leg. Maybe hit the knee, I couldn't tell, but came off of his bat, hit his body, and that's a tough one to take, especially for your strongest hitter. You want to see him a couple more times in this game, and with the type of power he can bring, if you're Coach Chris Ramirez, you want him at full health.
Indeed you do. That's why you got to take your time. And now he approaches the batter's box, but takes a quick trot over towards third base to talk with his head coach, Chris Ramirez. Ramirez, a first-year head coach for Southern Indiana, and in his first year at the helm, already so many changes with this team. We mentioned it earlier, 30 transfers on this roster. He's having a quick chat with Kitchens. Now, if they're in a situation right now with Kitchens where he's not at full health, that's an issue for the Screaming Eagles.
It's a big issue, but at the very least, he's already given you a show with that 3-run homer in the 3rd inning. Not necessarily a massive loss for the Screaming Eagles with the lead they have, but you know, if the Cardinals end up coming back here, you need your strongest hitter out there. And Cole Kitchens he's a provider for this team.
And we all know that a Cardinal comeback is very much in the realm of possibilities. Kitchens is back into the batter's box. He is all good to go. 1-2 our count. Drew Young on the mound for the Cardinals, leading us off here in the top of the 5th inning. He takes a deep breath. The 1-2 kick and pitch. Fastball, it's a chopper to first base. Beavis, the first baseman, collects it. All he's got to do is step on the bag to get the first out.
That's a nice sigh of relief for Drew Young, getting the best hitter on the squad out to start off the frame, and now you have to face off Cameron Boyd, Clayton Slack, at the very least 2 hitters that can still bring you some trouble, but at least you get out of the jam with Kitchens up there.
As you mentioned, it's the cleanup man, Cameron Boyd, up. He's 0 for 1 on the day with a walk. Righty on righty first pitch. Goes with the curveball, catches it on the bottom half of the zone for a strike.
Beautiful curve to the batter's side and in.
Great movement on that, as you mentioned, 0-1. Fouls it straight back, almost over the fence, protecting the fans behind home plate. But nonetheless, Drew Young getting Cameron Boyd where he wants him here in an 0-2 count.
Drew Young, definitely the bright side in this rotation, pitching-wise, for the Cardinals so far.
Young sets up the 0-2. Swing and a miss. On top of the breaking ball, down low. Second out of the inning for the Cardinals. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Ball State in a hole, down 4-1 to Southern Indiana. But Drew Young doing all he can to put the Cardinals in a position to succeed later on in this contest.
And now that brings in Clayton Slack. He's going to be a tough out here. 3 doubles this season, 2 triples. He's only seen 7 walks. He's a all-or-nothing type of hitter. Without a home run so far this season, but he's going to be swinging. He's not really aiming for taking this one deep.
First pitch, he tried to show bunt. He missed all of it, though. 0-1. The next pitch. Found for a strike on the inside. Back to the fastball with Young. We're not seeing the breaking stuff as often. He's going with the 4-seamer on the inside, and it's catching the zone. Young, a deep breath in an 0-2. Low and away outside to Arnold. 1 ball, 2 strikes here on Clayton Slack, the shortstop, a transfer after a year at Marshalltown Community College. Spent a year at Madison College as well. Young sets up the 1-2. Fires the Slack. To the fastball, well inside at the ankles to the right-handed batter. 2-2.
Boyd getting creative here. Not every single pitch he's aiming to get over the plate, just trying to catch these Screaming Eagle hitters off guard.
Drew Young, the 2-2 pitch on the way. Fouls it off behind him to the right. We continue on with a 2-2 count. 4-1 our score. Southern Indiana in front of Ball State in the top of the 5th inning. Nobody on base for the Screaming Eagles. They have 2 outs on them. Drew Young is 1 strike away from getting the 3rd for the Cardinals. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way to Slack. It's a hard hit shot for the shortstop. Grego in and out of his glove, up towards his chest, out of reach for him. That'll be Clayton Slack getting aboard via the error, the 2nd of the day on the Cardinals.
And that's frustrating for Dylan Grego. He had possession there, and it wasn't really a difficult bounce. Didn't change in height at all on the way to the shortstop, but he just couldn't get his glove around it.
That's very rare because that's Grego's only his 2nd error of the season. He's been one of the best fielding shortstops in the entire country. First pitch to Umbach. Swing and a miss, fanning him with the 2-seamer. 0-1 to start us off. Umbach, last time around, he singled. He's overall 2 for 2.
2 for 2, both of them singles.
Yeah, righty on righty arm matchup. Pickoff move to first. Not in time on Slack. And you know how dangerous Drew Young can be with those pickoff moves. He had one earlier where he faked the runner out at first, threw the 3rd instead. Young's 0-1. He lets it rip. Low and away, tried to get the chase on the slider. Unable to do so. Umbach remaining patient, 1-1. Cardinals in their white uniforms today. The red lettering, the red pinstripes. Pickoff move to first, not in time. Southern Indiana, on the other hand, the blue uniforms, the dark blues with the red lettering and the gray pants. 1-1 our count, a runner on first for the Screaming Eagles and 2 away in the top of the 5th. The 1-1 pitch. Cranked, just going foul on the first base line. Just barely out of reach there. 1-2, Young has him where he wants him.
That southeast wind just keeps picking up those balls that are cradling the foul line, and that one's another tough one for the Screaming Eagles to take.
Yeah, that wind blowing softly to the southeast, like you said. 1-2. Popped in the air, right field, towards the foul line. Jacobs running out of room. Goes into the Southern Indiana bullpen area. 1-2, the count remains with Clayton Slack on first base. Umbach in the box. Drew Young on the mound for the Cardinals. A 4-1 Screaming Eagles advantage over the Cardinals. Clayton Slack, 2 stolen bags on the year.
Umbach just trying to keep this alive here.
Pickoff move yet again, this time not in time again, as he was down on one knee trying to get back to first base. 1-2. He looks over at first. Now Drew Young sets up with 1 ball and 2 strikes. He lets it rip. It's a bouncer going foul yet again off to the right side towards the USI bullpen.
Umbach has an opportunity if he can get one by the pitcher, right down second base, a big gap between the second baseman, Vasovsky, and shortstop Grego.
You are right. That is a pretty big gap right up the gut. However, the outfield playing very shallow. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got him looking down low. Drew Young, as he runs it out to first, will not matter. What an inning for the Cardinals. That'll do it for the top frame of the 5th. Now to the bottom of the 5th. Southern Indiana, 4-1 advantage over the Cardinals. It's only a 3-run ball game. We'll be right back. You're listening to Ball State Baseball on SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Whether you're getting ready for the big game or getting ready for the workday, you always want to start with confidence. Cintas has the essential products and services to help businesses provide a clean, safe environment for their employees and customers. With routine restocking of essential cleaning, hygiene, and safety supplies, on-site cleaning, professional uniform laundering, and testing and inspection of fire equipment and systems. Give everyone the confidence they need to start their day. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
The Hampton Inn of Muncie is the official partner of Ball State Athletics. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. The Hampton Inn is one of Muncie's finest hotels. Come enjoy our free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and fresh Hampton beds waiting for you. Less than a mile away from Ball State campus. Don't forget to ask about our Ball State special. Search Hampton Inn of Muncie online at munciesuites.hamptoninn.com. At munciesuites.hamptoninn.com.
Indiana's top sports media school in 2024 by the Indiana Association of School Broadcasters.
This is Ball State Sports Link.
Bottom of the fifth, action at Shebeck Stadium. 4-1, Southern Indiana leads over Ball State. I'm Roen Elbert, joined by Brayden Carroll. Up for the Cardinals, 7, 8, and 9. Blake Beavis, who homered his last time around, Clay Jacobs, and Gavin Bayless. For you, Brayden, the Cardinals are down right now, about halfway through this contest. How can they get a hold of the Screaming Eagles and make their mark on this game?
I mean, you just have to find a way to get players aboard. A big opportunity here with some strong hitters in Beavis, Jacobs, and Bayless to do so. But it's been such a dominating performance by Figueroa. You almost have to hope that with his pitch count getting higher and higher, maybe he loses some control and you can get some walks before a pitching change. But that depends entirely on if Figueroa has gas left in the tank or not. And he hasn't pitched many innings. We've seen a lot of pitches from him, but thus far he is still in control. Maybe this could be a turning point, but it just depends on what's going on at the mound.
The first pitch in the righty-on-righty matchup. Beavis bounces it foul off to the left side over the head of Rich Maloney out there over at third base for the Cardinals. 0-1 to lead us off in the bottom of the fifth. Abdrell Figueroa in his third inning of work here for Southern Indiana looks to continue. 0-1. Slider got him looking down the gut. 0-2.
3 to 4 inches of depth on that thing. 80 miles per hour. That's just pretty. He clearly hasn't lost anything yet.
Indeed, he hasn't. He has looked money today. 0-2 pitch. Slider gets behind Blake Beavis, however. That time I like to call it a hanging slider. A slider that did not slide well behind Beavis. 1-2.
That was close to hitting Beavis, almost at his back. That was a slider where he definitely lost a lot of control. Maybe got too confident there.
1 ball, 2 strikes. He lets it fly. Slider is cranked deep, out to left field, back towards the warning track, and it's caught by McClellan. Beavis with the warning track power going against the wind. Man, would that have been a statement to open the bottom of the fifth.
That would have been. I mean, going with the wind, sending it that deep back, and without wind, that's probably going yard, but nice read by McClellan, getting under it along the foul line. Clean and safe catch to ease the nerves a bit of Figueroa going up against Beavis and getting the best hitter in what could be this entire rotation of the inning out.
Clay Jacobs in the box for the Cardinals, left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher. Figueroa first pitch. Goes with the fastball inside for a strike. This is the first time in quite some time I've really seen him go back to the fastball.
And you can tell he's losing a little bit of speed there, 1 to 2 miles per hour, not much.
0-1, Jacobs pops it up foul off to the left. 0-2, we continue on with Figueroa going strong. He went back to the fastball before Jacobs fouled it off. So no balls and 2 strikes, nobody on for the Cardinals here in the bottom of the fifth with 1 out. 4-1, Southern Indiana leads over Ball State. The 0-2 pitch. Here's the kick, here's the pitch. Slider well on the outside into the dirt. 1-2.
I know it's hard for Jacobs as a left-handed batter to try and get this one with the win, but that deep shot foul over to the left side, that's not going to do him any good. He needs to try and hit this to his side.
1-2 gets him with the outside fastball on Jacobs. That was interesting. I guess he didn't keep his swing in check. Either way, it was in the strike zone. So now Gavin Bayless in the 9th hole is up. After a 7 and 8 for the Cardinals are out. Nobody aboard here in the bottom of the 5th. Cardinals trail by 3.
There was some serious movement on that pitch outside, just barely grazing within the strike zone.
Righty on righty with 2 away. Figueroa. He takes a deep breath. Now the first pitch. He laces it on the right side, gets through just past the second baseman Umbach. A slow roller is able to somehow find its way into right field. Gavin Bayless, a single.
That's a misread by Winston Reed. He has to be the one to get there. That's between the first, second base gap, but it's on his side. And we saw Figueroa, he was chasing over to first base to try and make the play if Winston Reed was the one to get it, but he left it for Umbach, and Umbach just wasn't in position to go grab it.
Umbach, we have seen highlight play after highlight play. Looked like we were almost going to see one right there, but not that time around. Left-handed batter, top of the order, Alex Richter for the Cardinals. First pitch to him. Bayless takes off for second. Here's the throw. Did they get him? Yes, they did. What an arm from Makasia Wall, the catcher, sending it to second. The tag applied by Clayton Slack, the shortstop. And what a way to end the bottom of the 5th for the Screaming Eagles. The Screaming Eagles, they sure are screaming heading into the top of the 6th. They lead 4-1 over Ball State. We'll be right back. You're listening to Ball State Baseball on SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Whether you're getting ready for the big game or getting ready for the workday, you always want to start with confidence. Cintas has the essential products and services to help businesses provide a clean, safe environment for their employees and customers. With routine restocking of essential cleaning, hygiene, and safety supplies, on-site cleaning, professional uniform laundering, and testing and inspection of fire equipment and systems. Give everyone the confidence they need to start their day. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
The Hampton Inn of Muncie is the official partner of Ball State Athletics. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. The Hampton Inn is one of Muncie's finest hotels. Come enjoy our free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and fresh Hampton beds waiting for you. Less than a mile away from Ball State campus. Don't forget to ask about our Ball State special. Search Hampton Inn of Muncie online at munciesweets.hamptoninn.com. At munciesweets.hamptoninn.com.
You're listening to SportsLink Digital, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Your home for live Ball State sports.
Top of the 6th inning, Ball State looking to forge a comeback. They trail 4-1 to Southern Indiana. Drew Young out there with yet another inning of action. He looked money in the last one. 2 strikeouts in that last inning against the Screaming Eagles. Due up for USI, it's Winston Reed, Martin, and Wall, 7, 8, and 9. How can Drew Young take advantage?
He just has to continue what he's doing right now. 3 strikeouts, just 1 hit allowed. If he can keep on dealing to these Southern Indiana hitters, then he's going to be pretty golden, and at that point, just leave it up to the hitters of the Cardinals.
The first pitch is cranked foul behind in the righty-on-righty matchup. We start off 0-1 with Young to Jacob Winston Reed, the junior batting 200. Really one of the only guys on this Screaming Eagles roster that isn't a transfer. 0-1 from Young. Inside with the fastball, unable to bite it on the lower half. 1-1 our count. Winston Reed in his junior season, all with Southern Indiana. Again, 30 transfers on that roster. 1-1 pitch to the fastball on the bottom half. Caught it for a strike. 1-2 the count.
It's hard for an up-and-coming program when you don't have many veterans and your one veteran is struggling from the plate like Winston Reed. Hoping to get something going here in the season.
1-2. It's a High bouncer to second base. Nick Hasofsky collects, sends the first. Did he get him? Yes, he did. First out here in the top of the 6th inning on Jacob Winsenreed.
That's the right idea by Winsenreed. Send one to that deep gap at second base. But just a good reaction by Hasofsky to get there in time, make the throw just a few steps before Winsenreed could get to first.
Parker Martin, left-handed batter, into the box for Southern Indiana in the 8th spot. Drew Young sets it up. Now the pitch. Goes to the fastball. Able to bite it down low for a strike. 0-1. Martin, the sophomore, batting .307. Today, however, he's 0 for 2, including one time grounding into a double play. 0-1 pitch. Goes fastball again, this time in the dirt. 1-1 with Wall on deck for Southern Indiana. He ended the bottom of the 5th, throwing out Gavin Bayless at second base. Drew Young looks over, now the 1-1. Able to catch it with the breaking ball low and away for a strike. Now with 1 ball and 2 strikes on Parker Martin, left-handed batter. With 1 away here in the top of the 6th, nobody on base for Southern Indiana. They lead 4-1 over the Cardinals. The 1-2 pitch. Another high bouncer. Grego, the shortstop, attacks. Sends the first. Did he get him? Yes, he did. 2 up, 2 down for the Cardinals here in the top of the 6th.
The infield is really starting to get in rhythm for Ball State. 2 errors in the first half of this one, and now they're playing pretty clean, able to make these plays just in time.
Now you go to the 9th spot with Micajah Wall. Wall, last time around, flew out to deep right field. All in all, he is 1 for 2 today. Righty on righty, the matchup. Drew Young sets up the first pitch. Low and away with the slider, missing for ball 1. Wall, again, a transfer. You see that quite often with this roster. 30 transfers coming in from Lenore Rhine. 1-0 pitch. With the fastball, misses down low. 2-0 early on Wall. He was there last season, did not appear in a game, but before that played 2 seasons for Cleveland Community College. Now getting Division I reps in the Ohio Valley Conference. 2-0 pitch. Goes fastball, misses low again. 3-0. Drew Young at a disadvantage to Micajah Wall.
This is where you want to be if you're Wall. 3-0 count, an opportunity to maybe drive in another single.
The 3-0, the recovery pitch from Young is able to catch the inside for a strike. Drew Young is not really using the breaking stuff that he's been known for. He's been going with that heat.
Yeah, 91 miles per hour on that one. Just trying to force Wall into a situation where he can't send one up the middle.
The 3-1 is popped up in the deep right field. Over towards the warning track, now on the foul line. Jacobs is able to make the catch for the 3rd out here for the Cardinals. Heading into bottom of the 6th action, Ball State has an opportunity to right the wrongs with 2, 3, and 4 up in the lineup. They trail 4-1 to Southern Indiana. We'll be right back. You are listening to Ball State Baseball on SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
American Pest Pros is the official pest control partner of Ball State Athletics. We protect your home or business and guarantee year-round protection from insects and pests. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. Our pest control program is the safest and most effective in the industry. Even if you tried a different service and it didn't work, we'll fix your problem, guaranteed, or your money back. Visit AmericanPestPros.com. That's AmericanPestPros.com. And don't forget to ask about our Ball State special.
Ball State fans, who needs batteries? Your locally owned Battery Masters have batteries for cars, boats, golf carts, cell phones, watches, key fobs, Papergo toys for kids, and more. Bring your rechargeable batteries back to life for drills, shavers, dustbusters, and more. All Ball State fans receive a free battery checkup. Just mention Charlie Cardinal. Battery Masters is conveniently located on the corner of Walnut and Centennial, next to Mini Trista. Check us out online at batterymasters.com. Go Cards!
The best stories in Ball State sports, plus live broadcasts right in your timeline.
Follow us at BSU SportsLink.
bottom of the sixth action here at Shebeck Stadium in Muncie, Indiana. The Ball State Cardinals playing host to the Southern Indiana Screaming Eagles. Currently, Southern Indiana out in front 4-1. On the mound today, their third pitcher getting started right now for the Screaming Eagles. It's Ian Anderson. Anderson hoisting a 6.7 ERA on the year. Has one start, however. All in all, 8 appearances. Pitching over 13 innings, giving up 10 earned runs in those 13 innings. Brayden, how does he recover in a tough spot in the Cardinals lineup where you're facing a lot of great hitters here with Richter, Arnold, and Grego due up?
Well, the difficult thing for Anderson is that he gives up a lot of power hits. 3 doubles and 2 home runs this season with only 8 appearances on the campaign, 13 innings pitched. He can't give up those power shots. You have some guys up here for the Cards who can really get a hold of the ball and send them, and it's going to be difficult for him because he's facing a lot of guys who are going to be aiming towards the wind, and he's got to show that senior poise that he has coming from Middle Tennessee State University, one of the few transfers that came from the Division I level before entering Southern Indiana's lineup. He just has to remain poised, stick with his regular programming, and make sure he doesn't let these 3 first guys up go yard.
Up is Alex Richter for the Cardinals. First pitch goes with a fastball inside the left-handed batter. Richter had to lean over. It's a righty pitcher in Anderson. We begin 1-0 to Richter, who today is 0 for 2 on the day. Anderson, he sets up the 1-0 count. The pitch. Richter chops it foul on the first baseline, going to the Screaming Eagles dugout. 1 ball, 1 strike on Alex Richter in his first Division I season coming from Marietta College. Him and Ty Davis came there. You all know Davis last week went on a tear for the Cardinals. 3 home runs in 1 game against Butler. 1-1. On the inside, almost in on the hands on Richter. 2 balls and 1 strike to the former Marietta College third baseman Richter. Anderson, he sets it up. He winds up on the 2-1, delivers. Slider catches the outside part of the zone to the lefty Richter. 2-2 to lead us off here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Not seeing much speed here from Anderson. He's just trying to play with Richter right now, get him into swing and force that 3rd strikeout.
Anderson, his 2-2 pitch to Richter. Hanging slider high and away. Full count at the plate to Richter, a guy who has been very patient all season. A .439 on base.
This is a tough decision for Anderson. Do you leave it over the plate and let Richter swing? He has 5 home runs this season. You can't be too confident.
The 3-2 is belted foul on the right side. Going well into the parking lot, but man, Richter got a good piece off of Ian Anderson right there.
And that's what you have to be afraid of if you're Ian Anderson, is at this full count, if you leave it over the plate, Richter's going to swing and swing hard.
Anderson, he sets up the 3-2 pitch. He lets it rip. Slider is in the air to left field. McClellan, the left fielder, is able to get under it for the Screaming Eagles to get the first out of the bottom of the 6th inning. That's huge for Ian Anderson.
Yeah, big sigh of relief. You get yourself out of a tough situation there with a full count and not wanting to give Richter an easy swing of the bat. There, you make him hit it left side, and right there, McClellan is there in shallow left to make that easy running catch. And now you have a little more confidence heading into the deeper parts of this lineup.
Anderson getting into the stance, righty on righty against Garrett Arnold, who's 0 for 2 today. Here's the first pitch to Arnold. Goes with the fastball, misses outside for ball 1 against Southern Indiana, 4-1 lead over Ball State. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, 1 out, nobody aboard for the Cardinals. Anderson, the transfer from Middle Tennessee State, the pitch. 1-0 fastball, upstairs, called for a strike on the edge. 1-1 our count.
88 miles per hour on that pitch, rises just a little bit, enough to force Arnold into a tough situation where he doesn't want to swing at it.
The 1-1 pitch. drops in on the inside part of the zone with the slider. 1-2 our count. Arnold down in a disadvantage.
That's smart pitching by Anderson. That first strike rises up, second one comes down to surprise Arnold.
1 ball, 2 strikes, the pitch. Arnold in on the hands, unable to get down on the third base line, just going foul. We remain in a 1-2 count.
That's tough. He can thank the wind for keeping that somewhat close to the foul line. He has to get something in play here. But I like the decision to try and send that one to the left side where there's plenty of space with the infield, with the third baseman specifically coming in.
1-2 in the air to left center field, splitting the gap and getting down. Arnold to first base, stopping in his tracks on his way to second. A single for Arnold and the Cardinals here in the bottom of the 6th.
Now if you're Anderson, you've given up a hit, but not too much damage, just a single. You still have an out here, double play opportunity on board. And you just have to have some confidence in your fielders to make something happen here if another hit comes across.
Dylan Grego in the box for the Cardinals now. He's 0 for 1 with a walk to his name today. Grego, what a season he's having. A .357 average going into this game. 4 home runs, 16 RBIs. First pitch almost nailed him at the knees. The left-handed batter had to lean back. 1 ball, no strikes on Grego to start us off. He looks over at first. Ian Anderson is 1-0. Fires to Grego. Grego in the air, right field, back towards the warning track. And it is caught just on the edge of the warning track by Cameron Boyd, the right fielder. There's your second out here of the bottom of the 6th inning.
And Boyd almost put himself in the wrong position there. That wind picking up the ball a bit on its way down from the slope in air, and then he's able to get back into position. He played it a little too shallow, but makes the call, backs up, makes the catch.
Now you go to Nick Hasovsky, right-handed batter. It's righty on righty with 2 away. First pitch. Popped up in the air. Center field gets down in front of Holiday. Arnold was rounding second. He has to stop in his tracks, getting back in. Nick Hasovsky a single. Now with a runner in scoring position for the Cardinals with Arnold on second. You have the runner on first with Hasovsky. That brings up Corbin Griffin, who on the day is 0 for 2.
That's just a smart shot by Hasovsky, able to get that one just shallow enough to be out of the reach of Holiday. And it's USI starting to creep in just a tad in the outfield.
Here we go. First pitch to the left-handed batter, Corbin Griffin. Goes with the fastball low and away, misses for ball 1. Griffin on the season going into today with a .344 average, an OPS well above 1,000. 11 RBIs, 4 home runs. A quick little mound visit with Micajah Wall and Ian Anderson, the battery duo today for the Screaming Eagles.
You know, we've seen a switch already that was costly coming from Ball State. Will Jacobson gave up 4 hits, loaded the bases. They switched to Zach Leduc, and then he gives up that 3-run homer and a walk that put USI at 4 runs. Maybe this could be that type of situation. Figueroa was pitching dimes, then now you have Ian Anderson in some trouble.
The 1-0. Griffin on top of that one, the swing and the miss. 1-1 the count. Got runners on first and second for the Cardinals. 2 outs. In the bottom of the 6th inning, USI a 4-1 lead. The pitch. Griffin leaves it foul off to the right side. A slow bouncer. 1-2 now. Ian Anderson 1 strike away from retiring the Cardinals here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Clayton Slack, the shortstop, trying to clap his hands and signal to Anderson that he's ready for a pickoff opportunity if it presents. Maybe that's what they're looking for to get this 3rd out.
Perhaps. 1-2. Griffin leaves it on the second base side. Umbach collects, underhands it to second base where his shortstop Slack was on the bag. He gets the 3rd out. Despite getting 2 hits, the Cardinals unable to strike scoring-wise. And that'll do it for the 6th inning. Now to the 7th inning. The Cardinals trailing 4-1. We'll be right back. You're listening to Ball State Baseball on SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Whether you're getting ready for the big game or getting ready for the workday, you always want to start with confidence. Cintas has the essential products and services to help businesses provide a clean, safe environment for their employees and customers. With routine restocking of essential cleaning, hygiene, and safety supplies, on-site cleaning, professional uniform laundering, and testing and inspection of fire equipment and systems. Give everyone the confidence they need to start their day. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
The Hampton Inn of Muncie is the official partner of Ball State Athletics. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. The Hampton Inn is one of Muncie's finest hotels. Come enjoy our free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and fresh Hampton beds waiting for you. Less than a mile away from Ball State campus. Don't forget to ask about our Ball State special. Search Hampton Inn of Muncie online at munciesweets.hamptonin.com. At munciesweets.hamptonin.com.
You're listening to SportsLink Digital, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Your home for live Ball State sports.
We are 6 innings gone here in Muncie, Indiana. Top of the 7th action. Ball State playing host to Southern Indiana. However, the Screaming Eagles of Southern Indiana currently lead 4-1. Back on the mound for his 4th inning of work, it's Drew Young for the Cardinals. He has been locked down. However, his predecessors in Zach LeDuc and Will Jacobson giving up those 4 runs. How can Young continue the positive momentum even though he might not be getting the run support he wants?
You just have to not give up anything here. It's still a good situation for Ball State. You're only down 3 runs. You have 3 straight innings for Southern Indiana where they haven't been able to tack on to their lead. If Drew Young can just keep the offense in position to mount a comeback, then that's going to be enough for him. He just can't give up any hits, any major hits at least, to this rotation.
Righty on righty matchup, Patrick McClellan in the box. First pitch, he shows bunt, pulls it away at the last moment. 1-0 as it missed outside. McClellan on a 12-game hitting streak. That's in jeopardy, however. He's 0 for 3 today. 1-0 pitch. Hard hit ground ball to shortstop Grego. He collects, sends it to first. He got him for the first out. That 12-game hitting streak, unless we see McClellan later on, it's very much on the line. Now you go to Kai Holiday in the 2 spot for the Screaming Eagles. Right-handed batter. So far today is 0 for 1. He's been hit by a pitch and he's walked. Righty on righty, the senior. First pitch. Goes with a slider, unable to drop low. Misses for a ball, 1-0. Holiday showed bunt there. Let's see if he continues with 1 out, nobody aboard here. The 1-0 from Drew Young, lets it rip. This time the inverse, goes with a fastball on the inside part of the plate, again missing. 2-0 the count. The senior Kai Holiday batting .227. Transfer after a season at Lenore Rhine University. The 2-0 is in the air. Foul. 2 balls and 1 strike. Holiday, he was a star back in high school on the gridiron. He actually played 2 years of football at Northeast Mississippi Community College as a wide receiver. 2-1 low and away with the slider, misses. Drew Young has Holiday in a 3-1 count. But Holiday, he was actually getting some looks coming out of high school to play wide receiver for Ole Miss.
He's an athletic guy, very, very smart.
3-1 leaves a bunt on the left side. Young, the pitcher, unable to collect it. He tried to go barehanded with it, but Kai Holiday is able to reach first base. With 1 out, now a runner on first for the Screaming Eagles. Up comes their top hitter, Cole Kitchens, who has a 3-run home run today.
That's tough for Young. That's just such a great bunt by Holiday. Leaves it right over into the left infield between the third baseman, Richter, and Young. And there's just not much of an opportunity to get that ball in time. He knew he had to barehand it to throw it as soon as he grabs it, and maybe just thought too much about sending it to first base, not enough about grabbing it off the ground.
Drew Young gets a mound visit. The entire Cardinal infield greeting him, including head coach Rich Maloney. That'll be the end of Drew Young's day. Young did all he could for this Cardinals team. Now Ball State going to their fourth pitcher. We're going to take a quick break as we let him get warmed up. You're listening to Ball State Baseball on SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Whether you're getting ready for the big game or getting ready for the workday, you always want to start with confidence. Cintas has the essential products and services to help businesses provide a clean, safe environment for their employees and customers. With routine restocking of essential cleaning, hygiene, and safety supplies, on-site cleaning, professional uniform laundering, and testing and inspection of fire equipment and systems. Give everyone the confidence they need to start their day. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
The Hampton Inn of Muncie is the official partner of Ball State Athletics. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. The Hampton Inn is one of Muncie's finest hotels. Come enjoy our free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and fresh Hampton beds waiting for you. Less than a mile away from Ball State campus. Don't forget to ask about our Ball State special. Search Hampton Inn of Muncie online at munciesuites.hamptoninn.com. At munciesuites.hamptoninn.com.
From the bell tower to your smartphone, anywhere in the world.
Never miss Ball State Sports with SportsLink Digital.
We return here in the top of the seventh inning. Southern Indiana, a 4-1 lead over Ball State. An overcast day. It's very windy. Cardinals going to their fourth pitcher on the mound. Owen Quinn getting warmed up. Quinn has been one of the top guys out of the bullpen for Rich Maloney and the Cardinals. The junior with a 2.2 ERA on the season through 24 innings, only giving up 6 earned runs. How can Quinn continue the dominance, Brayden?
He just has to find a way to keep the Cardinals from allowing the Screaming Eagles to put more players into scoring position. Once they do that, we've just seen the confidence of the hitters on the USI side boost. It's like you see a guy on second base, you see a guy on third, and all of a sudden these guys are swinging deep. That's exactly what happened for Cole Kitchens. He had players on second and third and felt the confidence, sent it yard, and all of a sudden 3 runs up for USI. If he can just keep Holiday over at first base and keep everybody else away from the tight situations, he should be fine. You know, something interesting, he attended Lawrence North High School, was an absolute star there. 2 letters, .318 batting average. He played for Richard Winsenreed, who is the father of Jacob Winsenreed.
There you go, a little bit of a family connection there. But for now, Winsenreed and Quinn, competitors. Righty on righty, it's Cole Kitchens in the box for Southern Indiana. One of their top hitters, batting .523 in the last 10 games. Now a 13-game hitting streak for him. He has a 3-run home run on the day. Righty on righty, Quinn, the first pitch. Swing and a miss, goes with the curveball. He's on top of it. Kai Holiday on first base for the Screaming Eagles. 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. 4-1 Southern Indiana lead over the Cardinals. Quinn, he sets it up. Let's see 0-1 fly. Back to the curveball, another swing and a miss. 0-2 our count. Owen Quinn with his battery partner, Garrett Arnold. They play summer ball out together out on the West Coast. Quinn's 0-2. Drops too low on the curveball, 1-2 the count. And that is where Arnold, who was in the transfer portal at the time at Newman, this is where he found out about Ball State. Owen Quinn got him connected with Rich Maloney, and the rest is history.
A great connection, bringing Arnold into the program.
Owen Quinn's 1-2. Curveball. Hard hit chopper to Grego, the shortstop, steps on the bag at second. The throw to first, he got him. Dylan Grego turning the double play all by himself. And that'll do it for the top of the 7th inning. Now to the bottom of the 7th. Ball State looking to rally back. They trail 4-1 to Southern Indiana. We'll be right back. You're listening to Ball State Baseball on SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Whether you're getting ready for the big game or getting ready for the workday, you always want to start with confidence. Cintas has the essential products and services to help businesses provide a clean, safe environment for their employees and customers. With routine restocking of essential cleaning, hygiene, and safety supplies, on-site cleaning, professional uniform laundering, and testing and inspection of fire equipment and systems. Give everyone the confidence they need to start their day. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
The Hampton Inn of Muncie is the official partner of Ball State Athletics. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. The Hampton Inn is one of Muncie's finest hotels. Come enjoy our free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and fresh Hampton beds waiting for you. Less than a mile away from Ball State campus. Don't forget to ask about our Ball State special. Search Hampton Inn of Muncie online at munciesweets.hamptoninn.com. At munciesweets.hamptoninn.com.
Indiana's top sports media school in 2024 by the Indiana Association of School Broadcasters.
This is Ball State Sports Link.
Bottom of the 7th inning, Southern Indiana on the road taking on the Cardinals. They lead 4-1 over Ball State. I'm Roen Elbert, joined by my good friend Brayden Carroll. Ian Anderson back out there for a second inning of work for Southern Indiana. The Cardinals, it looks like they're making a pinch hitting change. In for Ben Giovanetti, it's Houston King.
I like the decision. Bring in a guy like Houston King, who has had a fantastic bat this season. A senior from Arkansas, community college guy in his second year as a Ball State Cardinal. And this year, he's batting .292, but he's gone yard one time, 4 doubles. He's a winner-go-home type of guy. He's going to go out there, swing the bat hard. He's not really going to initiate and wait for a walk scenario. He's either striking out or he's hitting something hard.
King from Crowder College. Before that, he was a Kentucky Wildcat. It's interesting. He was teammates with Cole Kitchens 2 years ago. One of the top hitters for the Screaming Eagles. Left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher. The first pitch to King on its way. Takes it right down Broadway for a strike with the breaking ball. 0-1 to start us off, the Houston King. Going into this game, boy oh boy, is even a mainstay in this Cardinal lineup. Batting .292. Anderson sets up the 0-1 pitch, lets it fly. Fouls it off to his left, crushes it into the parking lot. I mean, with that speed, that looked like it could have gotten to the softball field. 0-2.
It's clearly swinging hard, trying to get on base more than just a single.
The 0-2 is popped up foul on the left side. King, we typically don't see him during these mid-week matchups, but the fact that Rich Maloney went deep into his bag to pull out King goes to show that he really wants this win, and he wants to avoid a 4th straight loss after a weekend sweep to Xavier. 0-2. King leaves it foul on the first base line just barely.
Just keeping the at-bat alive. He's had 19 games played, a hit, averaging 1 per. He's the type of guy who's not looking to do anything but get aboard.
Jacob Winsen-Reed, the first baseman, was after that. Nonetheless, Anderson is 0-2 to King. He continues on. Now the pitch. King just barely staying alive, fouling it off behind him, had to reach for it. Acacia Wall, the catcher, he was slid off to the left, trying to get the chase that time around. Back in his normal position, however. 0-2 count on Houston King to lead us off in the bottom of the 7th inning. 4-1 Southern Indiana lead over the Cardinals. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Slider fanned him on the outside. 1 up, 1 down for Anderson and the Screaming Eagles.
That's a strong way to start off this frame. Catching Houston King swinging. Don't see that very often, but like I said, he's a hitter-go-home type of guy, and he'll swing down on the count. It was able to keep it alive pretty long, but Anderson, the Intimidator, beautiful pitch to end that at-bat.
Blake Beavis out there for the Cardinals. So far today, he's 1 for 2. A solo home run. The Cardinals' only run on the day. First pitch. Slider cranks it deep, left field, back towards the wall. Another solo blast for Beavis. 4-2, Cardinals cut the lead in half. Wow.
It just continues. Blake Beavis, 8 home runs this season. He's been brilliant. That one's a big energy booster. All of a sudden, you're only down 2. You get a man aboard, and suddenly every at-bat after that is the tying run. This is a big opportunity for Ball State. You can tell the dugout has energy.
8 home runs for Blake Beavis this year. 2 of them coming today. This guy is ridiculous. Now you go to Clay Jacobs, who had 2 home runs of his own over the weekend against Xavier. He's the left-handed batter against the righty Ian Anderson. Anderson, a deep breath, now the pitch. Jacobs chops it. It's fair on the first base line. Winston Reed, the first baseman, collects it, and he steps on the bag, beating out Jacobs to get the second out here in the bottom of the 7th.
That's a tough way to lose energy. You can tell the strategy for the Ball State hitters now after that solo homer by Beavis is with empty bases, just try to get a base hit, get something in the infield, try to get a dribbler. Maybe you can pull off a base hit right down the middle. But right there, USI doing a better job of just reading what's coming, knowing that these base hits are what the Cardinals are going for. Winston Reed with the right read.
That was clever. I'll give you that. That was really clever. Gavin Bayless in the 9th spot up for the Cardinals. He singled his last time around, however, got caught stealing, a rare occurrence, only the 3rd time it's happened all year. Righty on righty, nobody aboard for the Cardinals. 4-2, Southern Indiana leads over Ball State. First pitch. It's a fastball, misses low for ball 1. Blake Beavis creating the only 2 runs for the Cardinals with 2 no-doubter home runs.
Carry him on your back. Why not?
1-0 from Anderson. Bayless, a chopper on the 3rd base line. Martin is unable to collect it. They call it fair. Bayless is able to get aboard first. We saw right there Parker Martin, the 3rd baseman, in and out of his glove, right on the 3rd base bag. Bayless now aboard.
And that's what they needed to do. After that tough ground out, don't change the strategy. Go for something in the infield to get a base hit right there. That's a beautiful strike by Bayless to just get it right at that foul line, force the 3rd baseman into a tough situation. Martin's there, just can't grab it in time. Clearly thinking about the throw before getting his hand around it.
Alex Richter is up, the leadoff hitter for the Cardinals. Alex Richter, he's 0 for 3. However, a base hit here would be everything for Ball State as they trail 4-2 to Southern Indiana. Ian Anderson on the mound, still working. Almost got that 3rd out, but to no avail. Richter back into the box for the Cardinals.
2 outs, might as well work the juice. He has 5 home runs this season.
First pitch. Fastball just catching the zone on the outside. We begin 0-1 to Alex Richter. That was by a hair on the outside.
A friendly discussion between Richter and Dreyer over that strike call.
0-1 Anderson. Inside slider, a little bit too inside, a little bit too low as well to the lefty Richter. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You gotta start swinging if you're Richter.
Now Anderson is 1-1 pitch to Richter. But before that, he sends it to first, a pickoff move on Bayless, not in time, sliding head first into the bag.
That was a speedy throw by Anderson, not playing with it at all, going for the out. You can tell there's a little bit of pressure on the pitcher right now.
Anderson sets up his 1-1. Takes it low, catches the strike zone on Richter. 1-2.
That's a pretty frame by Wall, making sure there's no contention of whether or not that was a strike. Great work by the catcher.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Ian Anderson looks down, looks over at first. The 1-2 pitch. Richter over the head of Anderson into right center field in the air, bouncing through. Bayless rounding second. Superman dive into third. He's in. Throw gets away. Richter's going for second. 2 in scoring position for the Cardinals. Alex Richter. Wow.
Now the pressure's on. Richter getting aboard, even getting to second on a misread. Could have been a pickle, but it seemed as though Winsenreed was looking over at third base instead of trying to get the ball back to Umbach at second. If he did so, they may have been able to get Richter out, but instead he's safely aboard all the way to second for a double. That really shouldn't have been a double, and now this is definitely scoring opportunity for Ball State with a mound visit.
Mound visit, we see Ramirez discussing out there with Ian Anderson. Could this be the end of his outing? We'll have to wait and see. There is a Screaming Eagle warming up in the bullpen on the right side, but no signal for a change quite yet. I think that's the difference, and we're not going to see a change. That's the difference between Rich Maloney and a lot of managers. Maloney, a lot of times, he will pull that trigger quickly, and most of the time, I will admit it, no bias, he's usually right.
He just knows the type of bullpen he has versus a team like USI. There's so many players in the bullpen and a lot of guys who just don't have D1 experience. It's hard to build trust in that bullpen to sub out.
Righty on righty. Anderson to Arnold with 2 in scoring position with 2 outs. First pitch. Slider on the outside misses. We begin 1-0 to Garrett Arnold, looking to propel the Cardinals here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 4-2 USI leads. Anderson is 1-0 set up to Arnold. Back to the slider, high and away, misses. Cardinal dugout getting hyped. 2-0 the count.
And Wall, 2 straight pitches where he's late on his frame. It almost seems like he's framing initially and then realizing that thing's coming out just because there's so much movement on Anderson's pitches.
Here's his 2-0 pitch. Slider right down Broadway. Gets Anderson looking. 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, runners on second and third. 2 outs, so the sac fly no longer in play for Ball State. It's do or die for the Cardinals as they trail by 2. Anderson's 2-1 pitch. Rips it. Swing and a miss. Whiffs. Garrett Arnold right there. 2-2.
There's so much movement on that ball to the inside of Arnold. I'm surprised he even swung at that. If anything, it was going to be a ball. That's a tough take.
Ian Anderson, 2-2. Swing and a miss. Big time strikeout for Ian Anderson and the Screaming Eagles. That'll take us to the top of the 8th. Cardinals leave 2 stranded. We'll be right back. You're listening to Ball State Baseball on SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
American Pest Pros is the official pest control partner of Ball State Athletics. We protect your home or business and guarantee year-round protection from insects and pests. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. Our pest control program is the safest and most effective in the industry. Even if you tried a different service and it didn't work, we'll fix your problem, guaranteed, or your money back. Visit AmericanPestPros.com. That's AmericanPestPros.com. And don't forget to ask about our Ball State special.
Ball State fans, who needs batteries? Your locally owned Battery Masters have batteries for cars, boats, golf carts, cell phones, watches, key fobs, Papergo toys for kids, and more. Bring your rechargeable batteries back to life for drills, shavers, dustbusters, and more. All Ball State fans receive a free battery checkup. Just mention Charlie Cardinal. Battery Masters is conveniently located on the corner of Walnut and Centennial, next to Mini Trista. Check us out online at batterymasters.com. Go Cards!
Indiana's top sports media school in 2024 by the Indiana Association of School Broadcasters.
This is Ball State Sports Link.
Welcome back to Shebeck Stadium. The score in favor of the Screaming Eagles, 4-2, heading into the top of the 8th with Cameron Boyd ready to hit for USI. I'm Brayden Carroll, Roen Elbert alongside, who just did a great job on play-by-play. Now it's time I come in, see if I've improved a little bit from the start. But this is going to be important for Ball State. They have to find a way to prevent USI from scoring further. That was a tough end to the 7th inning with 2 runners aboard, leaving them stranded. Now you have to find a way to put yourself in that opportunity again. But if you find yourself there on offense, the more runs you allow USI to put up, the worse position you're in.
Very much so, and that is why you have Owen Quinn out there on the mound for the Cardinals. Quinn has been the most reliable relief option for Ball State all season after an incredible summer ball trip out west. He's built his technique, he's honed his craft. Now he's out here against Cameron Boyd in one of the biggest at-bats of the contest.
The sophomore righty, 2 home runs this season, 3 as a freshman last year, but he watches a strike swing by there to start off this inning.
He begins with the curveball, which is one of his most nastiest pitches. I love seeing Owen Quinn's curveball.
Cameron Boyd, he has been caught swinging once, lets that one fly, ripping over, just foul to the right side. The wind getting a grasp of that rock, and it's a 0-2 count.
That one was all the way out into the streets of Muncie almost. What great power Boyd had.
He is swinging big here. That pitch way high. A little bit of control lost by Owen Quinn as it's a 1-2 count. Still 0 outs with the score 4-2 in favor of USI here at the top of the 8th inning. The pitch. Swung on and fouled over to the left side this time. A dribbler in the infield.
Now what you're seeing from Cameron Boyd is a bit more aggressiveness, knowing that you're down to your final strike and you need as much run support as you can get, especially against these cardiac Cardinals.
He's seen a lot so far. 3 at-bats, a walk, a single, and a strike looking. Here's the pitch, and he is once again caught swinging. And that's the first out.
Owen Quinn, nasty right there, bringing the heat, dropping down with the sinker. Beautiful pitch from Quinn.
That brings up Clayton Slack for USI, hailing from Wisconsin, a right-handed hitter and thrower, junior, 5'11", 180. First pitch right down the pipe for the strike. A beautiful little changeup there, 79 miles per hour.
Yeah, that great top-down motion from Quinn. Most of his breaking stuff has that.
0-1 pitch, foul tip. It's Garrett Arnold. He appears to be a little bit shaken up, but okay at the end of the day.
What you're seeing, though, from Quinn is he's building that pitch tunnel. Started more down the middle, tried to go a bit inside. I think he's going to try and get a chase on the inside, which is kind of what, in the last inning, what Ian Anderson got Garrett Arnold on.
Getting creative here with the 0-2 advantage. 1 out, nobody aboard for the Screaming Eagles. Clayton Slack lets that one go by and high. 1-2 count.
And that's about the most velo you will see from Quinn. That time, the 2-seam, 87 miles per hour. That's really the most you'll see from Quinn.
Clayton Slack. Check swing, and he is called for it. Just enough to warrant the first base umpire, Nathaniel Haveman, to signal him out. And that is back-to-back outs forced by Owen Quinn, who's having a great start to this 8th inning. Just what the Cardinals needed.
And now you go to Anthony Umbach. This is going to be what you hope for Southern Indiana as a 2-out rally, but for the Cardinals, you hope, hey, get a 1-2-3. It's huge.
Umbach, a young sophomore on this squad, watches that first pitch go just low for a ball. A 1-0 count. He transferred to USI, hailing from Emory and Henry University. Started and appeared in 34 games as a freshman. Here he is as a sophomore, batting .319. Watches that pitch go right down the middle for a strike, and it's 1-1. With 2 outs, nobody aboard. A tough situation for the youngster.
That had to be really tough for Chris Ramirez to build this roster.
From scratch. Swings at that pitch. and is fouled with a little bit of a roll, maybe a few bounces over to the Ball State dugout. A 1-2 count, and a chance for Owen Quinn to have a 1-2-3 inning here in the 8th. The windup, the pitch, down the middle and low for the ball. 2-2 count.
That time around, Quinn tried to get that drop down that he is normally known for. That time, just a little bit too much out in front of home plate.
Umbach, he's been smart so far in this game. 2 singles. Watches that ball go just high. A little bit of loss on control, 88 miles per hour, and we have a full count with 2 outs. And nobody aboard for USI.
You want to avoid that walk at all costs if you're Quinn. A 1-2-3 gets the momentum rolling for the Cardinals.
The pitch down the middle, batted over to the left side, handled cleanly by Richter and sent over to Beavis for the out. A simple 1-2-3, but still the Screaming Eagles lead 4-2 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. The Cards next up to bat. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio on Ball State Athletics, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. This is Ball State Baseball. Don't go anywhere.
American Pest Pros is the official pest control partner of Ball State Athletics. We protect your home or business and guarantee year-round protection from insects and pests. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. Our pest control program is the safest and most effective in the industry. Even if you tried a different service and it didn't work, we'll fix your problem, guaranteed, or your money back. Visit AmericanPestPros.com. That's AmericanPestPros.com. And don't forget to ask about our Ball State special.
Ball State fans, who needs batteries? Your locally owned Battery Masters have batteries for cars, boats, golf carts, cell phones, watches, key fobs, Papergo toys for kids, and more. Bring your rechargeable batteries back to life for drills, shavers, dustbusters, and more. All Ball State fans receive a free battery checkup. Just mention Charlie Cardinal. Battery Masters is conveniently located on the corner of Walnut and Centennial, next to Mini Trista. Check us out online at batterymasters.com. Go Cards!
Ranked number 2 in the nation for sports media by the Broadcast Education Association.
This is Ball State Sports Link.
Welcome back to Shebeck Stadium. The score 4-2 in favor of the visiting Screaming Eagles over Ball State with a pitching change here for USI. We saw Ian Anderson in the last 2 innings give up 5 hits and an earned run with only 2 strikeouts. We're going to see now number 34, the young freshman, Sage Stout, at the mound, hailing from Birdseye, Indiana, looking to be the top bird in this one between the Eagles and Cards.
Yeah, with an ERA a little bit above 5, the freshman, he has room for improvement, but he has proven that if he can keep developing, he can be a mainstay in Chris Ramirez's Screaming Eagles system.
12 strikeouts on the season, 11 hits in 14 innings pitched. And he's going to get the save opportunity here for USI, barring a last inning pitching change. And for Ball State, this is an important inning. You want to go into the 9th with some energy, but down 4-2, it's all about, with the bases empty, getting something aboard, and then just seeing what the power hitters can do from there.
Exactly, because now you have Dylan Grego, Nick Hasofsky, and Corbin Griffin due up for the Cardinals. And then about 2 batters away off of that, you see Blake Beavis, who has 2 home runs today. However, those are solo shots. Solo shots for Southern Indiana, they only kill you if you let them. And I think Beavis' second home run really got the momentum going for the Cardinals. They left 2 stranded, but this is the perfect opportunity for Ball State to bounce back with one of the strongest parts of their lineup due up.
Really, if you're USI, you want to do all you can to prevent Blake Beavis from being out there here in the 8th. He's 4 batters away, with Dylan Grego to start things off here at the bottom of the 8th. USI leads 4-2. Stout the pitch, just high for ball 1.
He went with the fastball early. We really don't know what this kid is going to throw, but to start off 1-0 with that fastball, Not a great start.
90 miles an hour. Not much control on that high velocity and not much control there in the dirt, but swung on by Dylan Grego for the strike.
It's hard to blame Grego. When you see something drop like that right on the edge of the zone, you want to give it your all, especially when you're down to your final 6 outs of the contest.
Maybe not much control, but a smart breaking ball on that last pitch. This one's dug on and sent to the second baseman, rather shortstop, Slack, who makes the catch in air. Beautiful play by the infield, and there's the first out of the frame.
Quick little line out to Clayton Slack. Had to get a little bit of air time to go up to grab that, climbing the ladder just a bit, but still, that's a great momentum-grabbing play for the Screaming Eagles.
Clayton Slack making it look clean and easy. Nick Kosofsky now up to bat, 337 on the year. The windup and the pitch, a fastball down the pipe just low for ball one. Even there, his fastball only 81 miles per hour, just not having much control, going a little slower with his pitches to have some. And even less control on that pitch. Sliding to the outside for ball two. 80 miles per hour.
I get what he's trying to do with Hasofsky. He's trying to get a chase, but so far we're just not getting it.
Plants pitches, gets it inside, but another ball. 89 miles per hour. He's just not having control on these pitches. Any speed, any decision. Tough start. Sage Stout, the freshman, winds up, pitch. That's a ball. Ball four. Hasofsky having to dodge that one so he didn't get hit. That's a clean 4-0 walk.
That's huge for the Cardinals to get a 4-pitch walk on the freshman and Stout, knowing that as a young guy, the stereotype is that their confidence is shaken fairly easily. I don't know if that's the case for Stout, but if that is true, boy, oh boy, is that huge for the Cardinals.
Now you bring up Corbin Griffin, batting .362 on the season, 4 home runs, but watches that first pitch go right down the pipe for strike one, a clean 89.7 mile per hour fastball. Corbin Griffin, he's not a guy who's going to let many of those fly. A senior on this squad, community college guy. Doesn't let that fastball go, but tips it back to the track behind the umpire, and it's an 0-2 count rather. That time an 81 mile per hour throw.
Corbin Griffin is the exact reason why you should never doubt these community college guys at the D1 level.
He's been fantastic. Sends that one over to the second baseman, and it's an error. Ends up right in front of him. Off of the mitt. Sage Stout there to prevent any further damage, but that's going to bring Griffin aboard at first, as well as sending Hasofsky to second. That's tough.
It sure is. Now you go with 1 out, Houston King on deck, and then after that, Blake Beavis. That's very tough. Really, the rest of this Cardinals lineup, there is no easy out. And nothing guaranteed at all. Nothing really ever is, but still you got Houston King, Blake Beavis, Clay Jacobs, and Gavin Bayless all in the rest of the lineup. That's pretty dangerous if you ask me.
If you're Stout, you have to find a way to get Giovannetti out and put pressure on the star hitter Blake Beavis. Cannot load the bases for the young man. Correction, it's Houston King out there pinch hitting for Ben Giovannetti. Either way, this is the out that you have to get. The pitch down the pipe for strike one.
Beautiful slider right there from Sage Stout. Right down the gut. That's a risky pitch right there, especially in the situation he's in.
Maybe a confidence builder there for this at-bat. Winds up down the heart of the plate and fouled left side by Houston King. 0-2 count rather with 1 out. Men aboard at second and first. A strong lead off of second base by Osofsky. Stout looks back, thinking about throwing it. Instead pitches way over to the far side.
The guy's got heat. I'll give him that. Sage Stout, he's got heat. However, the control has not been there.
And he needs to have control now. If that was passed by Wall, that's going to be a free base by Houston King. Luckily, his catcher's smart enough to be there. And a decoy throw over to second base, specifically to the shortstop, Clayton Slack, just to prevent Osofsky from feeling so confident with his leadoffs.
The way I view it is, if you have a fastball with no command, it's kind of like having a Lamborghini with no driver's license. You really don't get the point of it.
A 1-2 count for Stout. Houston King looking for some energy. The pitch down the middle. Base hit over the head of the shortstop. Osofsky stops at third. And the throw gets behind the catcher. They threw it to home base, and that brings Osofsky home. Unbelievable. What a mistake. Griffin hits third base, and it's going to end up a double for Houston King. I can't believe that just happened. An errant throw to home base when there was no runner heading home. And that's just a misjudge. Terrible decision by the outfielder. That was center fielder Kai Holiday, who errantly threw it to home, where Mikaijah Wall was not ready for the ball.
No, not at all. You expect there to be some kind of cutoff man. That is not what we saw at all. Holiday went all for it, which was not the move. That's a really tough throw to make out in center field, especially for a guy like Holiday, where this is really his first reps at the Division I level. That's a really tough throw to make. But did we really just see what I thought we just saw now? Now it's a one-run ball game, 2 in scoring position. The Cardinals have the sac fly in play with Blake Beavis up to bat. Grab your popcorn, folks. This is getting really interesting.
Holiday never looked to third base to see whether or not Osofsky was running home. He was not running home. Holiday still throws it to the catcher who wasn't in position. And when he didn't make the catch, Osofsky, the easy trot across the plate. And it is 4-3 Southern Indiana with the man, Blake Beavis. 2 solo home runs and a big opportunity here.
It is worth noting a pinch runner for the Cardinals, Grant Miller, over at second base, coming in for Houston King.
Blake Beavis. Does he want to be the hero? I'm sure he does. Grant Miller at second base. Corbin Griffin at third. 1 out. No pressure on Beavis.
They just intentionally walked him.
Wow. And can you blame him? Unbelievable.
Wow, that's shocking. I don't blame them. But honestly, that now you got the bases loaded for Clay Jacobs. I don't think that's much better, honestly. This is a guy that had 2 home runs over the weekend. In the 8th spot, bases loaded, 1 out. I just don't get the decision. I would not have pulled that plug, honestly.
Here's a guy who has 2 home runs and 12 RBIs on the season. Surely he has some confidence as well. An interesting choice by first-year head coach Chris Ramirez. The first pitch from Stout at this at-bat is a ball wide into the left batter's box.
I don't get it, too, because you have a right-handed pitcher, and then you got a left-handed batter immediately after that. I mean, come on. You got to give it a chance.
Jacobs has to be feeling the pressure, but surely the confidence as well. Swinging hard, but a strike right behind him. 1-1 the count.
Now, I could totally be in the wrong here. Ramirez could come out being just an absolute grandmaster if he's able to come up with that great decision, potentially. We'll have to wait and see, though.
5 career home runs for Clay Jacobs. The pitch, up top and a ball. Over to the wide side, an inch or 2 above the strike zone. A 2-1 count with 1 out, runners at every base. 4-3 Southern Indiana leads here in the 8th inning. The windup, the pitch, down the pipe, and fouled to the back track. 2-2 count.
Man, oh man, is this a huge spot for the Cardinals. A 2-2 count. Jacobs is down to his first strike. Then you'd have 2 outs. Keep in mind that sac fly is in play, which would tie the ball game for the Cardinals.
Jacobs in a tough spot. He can't leave something in the infield or else it's a double play threat. Check swing. And they won't call him for the strike. It will end up a ball in a full count. 3-2.
This is huge. I will say it's hard to deny how big of a spot this is for the freshman Sage Stout going up against the graduate student in Clay Jacobs.
Do you put it over the plate or do you try to make him chase? He'll put it over the plate and it's a foul tip. Back to the home plate umpire. We continue on in this at-bat.
He just barely made contact with that. Right on the tip of the bat, just barely getting a hold of it. This is huge.
This is when baseball becomes a game of the minds. Going for the outside, it's a base hit into the first, second base outfield gap. One runner scores. The second one's coming in. The throw isn't there, and the Ball State Cardinals have the lead. 5-4. Miller and Corbin Griffin safely home.
Clay Jacobs, you are ridiculous, my friend. Out into right field. Now it seems like we're getting the mound visit. 5-4 Cardinals. First lead since the bottom of the second when they led 1-0. I can't say it enough. That decision from Ramirez to intentionally walk Beavis, it backfired because Jacobs is a threat. And I guarantee he felt insulted the moment they intentionally walked the guy to get to him. I guarantee he felt insulted. He took that personally, giving the Cardinals the lead. What a big time moment. A moment that the graduate student will remember forever.
And what a disaster for USI. Sage Stout on the wrong side of a mound visit as he hits the dugout. And entering into the action for USI to hopefully minimize the damage that has already been created appears to be Mason Bell, the junior from Knoxville, Tennessee.
And what we're going to see here from Bell is a very up and down pitcher. But most of the time, it just has not been great. ERA nearing 10, 6 innings pitched, 7 earned runs in those 6 innings where he's walked 5 batters, striking out 7. He's a little punchy. That's exactly why they went to him. He's got the punch out numbers, and that is exactly what the Screaming Eagles need.
What a tough situation to bring Mason Bell into. There's still a runner in scoring position with Blake Beavis over there at third base, and still only 1 out.
Then again, for Southern Indiana at this point, you're now in a situation where the top of the ninth, the top frame of the ninth could be your last. So you have to go all out. You have to go all out here with Bell. Try to get those last 2 outs. Keep in mind, with Beavis on third, you still have that sac fly well in play for the Cardinals, so they can add a cushion. I wonder who they'll go with for the save. Will it be Owen Quinn to get the save for the Cardinals? He has been pretty dominant so far. Or do they go a different direction? Do they go maybe with a Garrett Harker? Do they go with a John Chambers? We'll have to wait and see.
You have to feel a lot more confident if you're the Ball State bullpen. A lot less pressure has been taken off. Now it's about just maintaining a lead and getting the save. What a fantastic comeback by the Cards in the last 2 innings alone. After 4 straight scoreless innings between the 3rd and the 6th inning, they score one in the 7th. And right there, 8 batted in on Sage Stout.
Yeah, this 3-run bottom of the 8th for the Cardinals has been nothing short of spectacular. Now you got runners on the corners. Up comes Gavin Bayless in the 9th spot. He, like I have said all day and really all season, he's the perfect setup guy for the top of the order.
Clay Jacobs at first, Blake Beavis at third, Gavin Bayless at 323 on the season. Up to bat. Pickoff attempt, not successful at first. Clay Jacobs playing some mind games after he just scored one of the most impactful hits of the season. Empty count still with 1 out. Runners on the corners, Cards up 5-4. The bunt, straight to the pitcher. The throw to home plate. Runner is safe at first. A pickle here for Blake Beavis, and he is called out at third base.
So smart right there from Mason Bell. What's the first instinct for a pitcher? Well, a ground ball hit right to you. Normally, you want to send it to your first baseman. However, you know the situation. You've been here before. You're a junior. You're an upperclassman. You underhand that to your catcher. Beavis in a pickle. He was pretty close. I will give him credit, but unable to get out of that situation. But now 2 outs. Screaming Eagles still need 1 more here in the bottom of the 8th. And we're getting another mound visit. This is interesting. And they're looking towards the bullpen again, but nobody's in there.
Interesting here by Coach Chris Ramirez.
Now there is. And are they making another? No. This is insane. They're going with another change.
Surprising to say the least.
And I know exactly why. You see, you're taking out a right-handed pitcher in Bell, and they're going with a left-handed pitcher to battle against Alex Richter. I actually think this is genius from Chris Ramirez. You go with the lefty rather than the righty, because now you know that the advantage is now no longer at play for the Cardinals. This is actually a very smart move by Ramirez and the Screaming Eagles.
So another pitching change for the Screaming Eagles. The 6th pitcher, rather, that we have seen today.
The pitch, 31, Jay Kennedy.
So Jay Kennedy at the mound for Southern Indiana. It's been a very active day for the Screaming Eagles bullpen, and they're going to bring in the junior lefty from Iowa City, Iowa. He transferred to USI from Southeastern Community College, spent 2 years there. Now he's here at the Division I level. Just another bring-in by Chris Ramirez.
It's a game of chess at the end of the day. And I love that we're seeing a young manager like Ramirez getting to go head-to-head against Rich Maloney, one of the most experienced, one of the winningest managers at the Division I level. These 2 head coaches going square off right here. It's very much so a game of chess. Chris Ramirez, he is not playing checkers.
And all of a sudden, it's been completely shifted to a situation where it seemed like Ball State was going to get another opportunity at the bat. Now it's completely up to Southern Indiana. You get the out here, and then the top of the 9th could be the last of the game. Just because of this electric 8th inning from Ball State, they've put themselves in a better opportunity to win, not only score-wise, but by making this comeback late.
Indeed, it has been, which this is why you never doubt the Cardinals. I've been saying it all year. These cardiac Cardinals, I know you're tired of hearing me say it, but I'm going to say it again. These cardiac Cardinals are striking yet again.
At the top of the order, it's number 3, Alex Richter, to go up against the junior, Jay Kennedy. Batting .216 on the season. He has 5 home runs. He's coming off a double in the 7th. He's flown out twice and been struck out swinging. The pitch, an interesting windup and throw, but a strike nonetheless. I haven't seen a delivery like that in a good while. Jay Kennedy extending the ball out, almost forming a right angle at his elbow. 0-1 count. swung on and struck for the second one. 0-2 with 2 outs and a runner at first and second.
I have an appreciation for sidearm guys, just like you, Brayden. I love seeing this, especially a lefty sidearm guy.
If it works, it works. The pitch. Just low on the cutter. It's a 1-2 count.
And that's the thing, though. Like, when you see that sidearm guy, it's so weird for a hitter because everything looks like a breaking ball coming out of his arm just by the release point. But that's really not what we're seeing so far.
The pitch outside. Good frame by Wall, trying to get it in there, but the umpire read it all day. A ball. 2-2 outside.
I can't get over the fact that Ramirez pulled the plug on a really good right-handed pitcher just for this matchup. I love it.
The pitch. Another one outside and another ball as we reach a full count. 3-2, 2 outs. Runners on second and first. Jay Kennedy, the pressure of this game on his shoulders. Richter ready. The pitch. Up high and it's a walk. The bases will be loaded for Garrett Arnold. Maybe another pitching change?
Maybe. At this point, I would not doubt it because now the Cardinals have the advantage with a left-handed pitcher against a right-handed batter. But I think they legally, I think they can't make that move. I think they have to. I think the pitcher would have to face 2 or 3 batters in order to make the change.
So he is forced to face Garrett Arnold, the senior catcher. Watches the first pitch go up high for ball 1.
That's a risk you run if you're Ramirez. He's been trying to make these calculated choices. That time it didn't pay off, but I loved the thought process. He still showed confidence in Kennedy, however.
Wind up and the pitch. Down the middle, low for ball 2.
The reason why I still agree with the choice is because I do think Jay Kennedy, out of this Southern Indiana bullpen, he might be one of the guys that gives them the best shot to win and get an out. I know what we've seen so far hasn't really represented that as he gets a mound visit from his catcher Wall, but still, I think he has the best stuff overall. That sidearm throwing motion is so nasty. I think he has what it takes to get the Screaming Eagles out of this inning.
But he has to get the pressure off of his batter's shoulders. Can't give up any more runs. With Jacobs at third, Bayless at second, and Richter sitting comfortably at first. Garrett Arnold in the batter's box. Up in the count 2-0.
I think we're getting another change. We just saw Ramirez point to the bullpen again. And this is a right-handed pitcher who's in the bullpen. I am astounded, Brayden. We are seeing another change. He saw enough with Kennedy. That'll do it for Jay Kennedy's day.
Make it the 7th pitching change of this game for Southern Indiana. Ball State has had 4 different pitchers. And that brings up number 20 for Southern Indiana. So we're getting a name on that right now for you. Colin Wolf will be up at the mound. A freshman hailing from Evansville. Hometown kid, lettered in baseball and basketball at Evansville North. He comes into this one with 8 appearances on the season. 9 earned runs given up and only 1 strikeout. Very interesting to bring in a guy who's not really a veteran in such a brutally honest, tough situation.
Yeah.
With bases loaded and your last guaranteed opportunity on defense.
I totally agree, but at the same time, you have to remember that this midweek matchup, sure, it means a lot to them. You want to get your first win ever against Ball State, but priority number 1 for them is Ohio Valley Conference, those matchups. And for them, the Cardinals, they are not a conference opponent. So I think they are, and they've got conference action this weekend. They know the deal, and they know that they got to save their top arms for this upcoming weekend.
Why the Burger King song, Roen?
I think it's great, but it's
no. I hate this song.
No, but it brings me back a little bit of nostalgia from 2023.
That's the worst year to have nostalgia of, other than like 2020. What do you mean nostalgia of 2023? That was 2 years ago.
You said it's bad to have 2020 nostalgia, and I totally get that. But however, there's a little bit to remember from 2020. I think that you can find nostalgia from just about any year except 2011.
When I think 2023, my head immediately goes to the miss at midnight, Ohio State, Georgia, in the CFP. You're not an Ohio State fan, right?
No,
okay,
no.
Good. That would be a bad bring-up if you were.
Yes.
What is your football team? I know you're a Villanova guy for baseball. What about basketball, rather? What about football?
I'm a Ball State Cardinals guy.
There we
chirp,
go.
chirp.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear. So with the new pitcher up, Colin Wolfe, facing bases loaded and a 2-0 count with 2 outs. First pitch is a beautiful strike right down the heart of the plate. Garrett Arnold, no home runs this season, but 8 RBIs. Maybe he can crank himself into double digits with a solid base hit here. Wolfe, the windup, the pitch, fouled back behind the stands. A 2-2 count, friendly to the young freshman.
Friendly indeed. These bases are loaded, however, and Arnold, who only has 1 hit to his name, you kind of get the sense that he's due for another.
Crucial pitch, swung on. Great grab by Wolfe right at the mound, and the force out at first. Clean and easy, but it won't be easy for USI. They have 1 frame to do it. Down 5-4 to the Ball State Cardinals. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio and Ball State Athletics, Ball State Baseball, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
American Pest Pros is the official pest control partner of Ball State Athletics. We protect your home or business and guarantee year-round protection from insects and pests. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. Our pest control program is the safest and most effective in the industry. Even if you tried a different service and it didn't work, we'll fix your problem, guaranteed, or your money back. Visit AmericanPestPros.com. That's AmericanPestPros.com. And don't forget to ask about our Ball State special.
Ball State fans, who needs batteries? Your locally owned Battery Masters have batteries for cars, boats, golf carts, cell phones, watches, key fobs, Papergo toys for kids, and more. Bring your rechargeable batteries back to life for drills, shavers, dustbusters, and more. All Ball State fans receive a free battery checkup. Just mention Charlie Cardinal. Battery Masters is conveniently located on the corner of Walnut and Centennial, next to Mini Trista. Check us out online at batterymasters.com. Go Cards!
Ranked number 2 in the nation for sports media by the Broadcast Education Association.
This is Ball State Sports Link.
Welcome back to Shebeck Stadium. The score heading into the 9th inning. Ball State 5, Southern Indiana 4. This could be the last opportunity for the Screaming Eagles to put runs on the board after a 3-run 8th inning by the Ball State Cardinals to come back down by as much as 4-1, but in the last 2 innings, 4 runs have pitted the Cardinals into a winning opportunity here at the top of the 9th inning. Still at the mound is going to be Owen Quinn, who so far has been huge. Coming in as a relief pitcher, and now he's aiming for the save. An inning pitched, and then 1/5 of an inning as well. 2 strikeouts, no hits given up, and no runs as well. Up to bat for the Screaming Eagles in a critical juncture. Jacob Winsenreed watches the first pitch go strike, hovering around the left side, right down the middle. A 1 count, empty bases, no outs. and a Card 5-4 lead. The pitch swung on right behind Winston Reed, and actually they'll say he tipped it in the process. Wasn't much of a tip. I could barely tell from here. I actually couldn't tell at all. But the umpire, a much better vantage point than me, Jason Dreyer, has been doing some good work. An 0-2 count. The pitch struck him out. The strong suit touching the outside end of the strikeout zone. 2 away.
Parker Martin.
Not only a strikeout, but a strikeout looking. Parker Martin now up. Right-handed batter. Left-hand, excuse me. Quinn sends it outside for the first pitch, and it's a ball. Shebeck faithful not necessarily pleased with that call. We thank you today for listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, as well as Ball State Athletics. We've had some fun here amidst this Ball State comeback, and that pitch is dealt a strike. 1-1 count with 1 out.
Yeah, tons of fun here at Shebeck Stadium. Cardinals 2 outs away, but still, it's do or die. You have to have that mentality.
Parker Martin, no home runs this season, but he might need something here. A solo would notch things up, but that pitch is a ball, a 2-1 count. Owen Quinn looking for the save here. The windup, the pitch. Down the middle, just low enough to be warranted as a ball. 3-1 count.
For Quinn, it would be save number 2 on the season. It's a big time moment for the junior. Let's see if he can come through.
3-1, 1 out. Bases empty. That pitch is a strike. Just inside the zone, as that one was pretty low, but was enough to be a strike, and also low enough to make Martin think twice about swinging. A full count. 1 out. The pitch. It's a ball.
You can tell the Cardinal faithful not happy about that one. I thought he got him on the backwards K right there. That's not ideal, because then again, you come up with Micaiah Wall in the 9-hole. Southern Indiana, although not a power hitting team, you do see a pinch running change for them. However, they really aren't the kind of team. It's actually going to be BJ Banyan pinch running for them. Former Memphis Tiger.
One of the few guys who comes from a Division I program as a transfer on this team.
Yeah, it's his 4th team in 4 years. Not ideal, but still back at the Division I level for the first time in over 2 years.
Thank goodness for Hoosier hospitality. Everybody can get a little fired up, but luckily we don't have cuss words flying around.
Yeah.
That pitch hits the dirt, but saved from going behind Garrett Arnold. 1-0 count to start things off for Micaiah Wall.
And I guarantee this at-bat will be huge for Rich Maloney's decision with Owen Quinn moving forward.
1 home run this season for Wall, batting .267. The pitch again in the dirt, and Arnold again going down to stop it from passing. 2-0 count.
If he doesn't have control, Maloney's going to pull the plug. Maloney, he's been doing this for 30 years. I think he knows a thing or two about when a guy doesn't have it.
That pitch just touches the outside of the zone for a strike, and it's 2-2, a favorable count for Owen Quinn. Rather, 2-1, excuse me. So not a favorable count. But it will be after he catches Wall swinging. 2-2 count. And a big chance for Quinn. If he can get this strikeout, he'll probably stay in.
Indeed he would, even against the top of the order, and Patrick McLennan up next.
Caught him swinging for strike 3. Another pitch to the outside end. 1 away from a victory.
That's huge right there. Owen Quinn coming up clutch in the perfect spot So now you have the leadoff hitter, Patrick McClellan. He's on a 12-game hitting streak. It's on the line right now as he's 0 for 4. Mind you, he does have one hit.
McClellan watches that one go by for a ball in the dirt and outside. 1-0 count. Owen Quinn looking for the save. Just one runner aboard at first, the pinch runner, B.J. Banyan. The windup and the pitch, a check swing, not enough to warrant a strike as it's another ball, 2-0 count.
Having Banyan on first is huge because you need that base running threat for Southern Indiana. You need really anything you can get at this point.
Quinn looking over to first base. Not thinking about throwing there. Dishes a strike. 2-1, 85 miles per hour on the two-seamer.
I think you have to kind of think of it in a way of you're 2 strikes away.
Caught him for another strike. 76 mile per hour changeup, a little breaking ball. As that's going to leave McClellan in a tough situation. 2-2 count, 2 outs, 1 runner at first here at the top of the 9th. The pitch down the middle and just high. A full count.
That one was about as 50-50 as it can get. Right there on the top frame. Full count. This is the biggest pitch of the game so far.
Owen Quinn looking for the save. Full count, 2 outs. The pitch, strike, got him. And that's it. Ball State down 4-1. Comes back with 4 runs in the 7th and 8th innings to win it. 5-4 over Southern Indiana and retain their perfect record over the Screaming Eagles.
5-0 against Southern Indiana. It's a shame for them, but now the Cardinals break a 3-game losing streak, and it's oh so beautiful for them heading into some MAC play this weekend.
Well, you can't say it was never in doubt, but you can say that the confidence showed from the Cardinals that they surely didn't doubt their chances of coming back. It was late, but it was a rally nonetheless. And the Cardinals advance to 17 wins on the season.
I do want to give credit where credit is due to Blake Beavis. I don't think the Cardinals get this done without him. 2 home runs for him on the day, both solo shots. However, what Beavis did for these Cardinals was spark fear down these Screaming Eagles, so much so that they intentionally walked him for Clay Jacobs in a situation where Jacobs got the go-ahead RBI single for the Cardinals, and now we're looking at a 5-4 victory for Ball State. These midweek games are usually going to be pretty close, no matter who they face. And the fact that Ball State was able to edge this one out just goes to show the resilience of this team. I've talked to Rich Maloney countless times, and he tells me that's the #1 quality he looks for in his players, resilience. And boy, oh boy, did it show today.
And maybe symbolically, the sun comes out right as Ball State gets the victory. The Muncie weather shining on a positive note, with the Cards ending their game on a positive note. A late rally to take the win. Roen, any final words before we sign off here from Shebeck?
It's a beautiful time to be a Cardinal fan right now. This team has all fight, no quit. This team has so much fight in them. It's going to be fun to watch them down the stretch.
So that'll do it for our coverage here of Ball State baseball at Shebeck Stadium. Your final score, Ball State 5, Southern Indiana 4. The Cardinals advance to 17-9 on the season as they head into MAC play at the top of the table. Next up, they will face off on the road against Akron on Friday to start off a 3-game series over the weekend against the Zips. Meanwhile, Southern Indiana falls to 10-14 and 8-13 in out-of-conference play. They still have their bright side on the Ohio Valley Conference table, sitting at 3rd, a game behind Tennessee Tech and SIU Edwardsville. That will do it here for our coverage at Shebeck Stadium. I'm Brayden, Carroll, Roen, Elbert. It's been a pleasure working with you as always. Thank you for tuning in to this presentation of Ball State Baseball, SportsLink Digital Ball State Athletics, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. We'll see you next time. Enjoy the rest of your week here in Muncie, Indiana.
This has been a production of SportsLink Digital Radio.